Welcome back to the Prairie View Cricket Complex, field number 5, day number 1, effectively match number 3 for the day. This match featuring the Columbus Falcons and the Bay Blazers. Bay Blazers lost the toss. Columbus Falcons winning, and Captain Sherrod Lumba choosing to have a bat under decidedly different conditions from what we started with this morning. This morning was wet, it was overcast, but brilliant sunshine all around the field. For the most part, the ground is dry. A couple of spots in the outfield where it's maybe not quite soggy, but the ground is a little soft. So maybe in those spots the ball doesn't roll across the turf to the boundaries or as fast, but perfect conditions under which to bat first. And so probably not surprising that Sherrod Lumba choosing to have a bat. Under those conditions, they'll be looking to start with Shreyansh Kolipaka. And we'll see who the other batter is shortly, but I think you'll find that there will be a very interesting passage of play here to start. For the most part, the Columbus Falcons, who played this morning, this again the third of 3 matches. The first one played this morning, the Columbus Falcons. They'll look to see whether or not they can excel or continue to do as well as they did this morning. At the moment, they're looking to see if they can get off to a fast start. The fast start required here during the power play. Opening bowler for the Bay Blazers during the power play will be the left arm orthodox of Amir Hamza Hotak. And bowling a spinner inside the power play carries its own risks, but I think you'll see that this pair will be looking to take the attack to the opposition. Again, it's going to be Shreyansh Kolipaka to take first strike. We're on the way here and going in the last game of the day. Number 4 bowling to number 4. That is Amir Hamza Kotak bowling to Shreyansh Kolipaka. A couple of dot balls to start. Non-striker at the moment is Kunwarjit Singh. And a couple of dots to start this innings. So things will be completely interesting here. Again, very pleasant conditions. Appeal for stumping as the third ball goes past the outside edge. Umpire McVin Frederick says not out, but a good start here with the ball. 3 consecutive dots to start. We've seen so far that what the bowlers put into the wicket, they can get out of it. If you're a pace bowler, there's enough pace in the wicket to justify the effort that you put into it, and there has been some turn for the spinners. That's your first single of the day, the first run, as that's played down the ground to long on. Long off, make that. So inside the power play, of course, 2 fielders in the deep, 1 at long off. That's the fielder who just fielded that last delivery. And then another one square of the wicket on the leg side. Now for the left-hander, he'll be going all the way down to that square leg area. Opening with a lefty and a righty at the same time, so that's always a challenge for the bowler. But Amir Hamza Kotak is a great bowler. So far, doing really well, and that's a dot. So getting through the first 5 balls of the match inside the power play with only 1 run conceded is really good stuff from the left arm orthodox. Played through the offside, though this might be a couple, and in fact it goes all the way for 4. So a good over first has been spoiled with that boundary through the offside. Maybe just a little bit too much width being offered there by Amir Hamza Kotak. Look at this replay. Yeah, definitely wide, even though it was coming in with the arm. Still too wide. You want to start that ball a little bit closer to off stump. And Kunwarjit Singh helping himself to 4 runs. So that is the end of over number 1. 1 in the books, 5 without loss. Power without loss, Shreyan's Kolipaka, 1 from 4. Kunmarjit Singh, 4 from 2. And that 4 is a boundary that was struck through the offside. And so, given the fact that you've gotten off to a relatively slow start with the bat, 5 runs on the board, and even though that last ball, the last delivery was struck away for 4, it was actually a very good over bowled by Amir Hamza Hotak. So he'll be looking to see whether or not he can get some support from the other end. This is going to be a new bowler coming from the northern end of the ground. See whether or not he can identify himself, since his jersey number does not appear anywhere on this shirt, or on this sheet, I should say. And we'll see whether or not that can be revealed to us here very shortly. But in the meantime, just 5 runs from the first over, as I mentioned. And it is now going to be the second over on the way. Batter is Shreyan's Kolipaka. Goes through for a dot. And so a good start continues with the ball here. I want to make sure that everything... Yusuf Zazai is who the bowler is. Yusuf Zazai, relatively decent bowler, relatively quick, I should say. And you've seen evidence of his abilities with the ball in the past, playing in the minor leagues and at various T20 leagues around the country. Definitely can be somebody who can be difficult to get away. Short delivery, pulled away into the deep. Mid-wicket has work to do, but that slow outfield we talked about already holds things down, as it's going to be the Columbus Falcons winning the toss and choosing to bat under really brilliant skies. And if you're going to choose to bat first, Manali Patel, this feels like the type of environment where you'd want to do it.
1.2 overs in, 6 runs on the cards, and all wickets in hand. We're now seeing Columbus Falcons for their second game, played the first game of today on the same ground. Always enjoy seeing the aggression in the field. This attacking fielding just puts the batter in 2 minds as to whether I'm going to try and chance the arm or not. Sorry, I was actually just catching up with my fellow Canadian, Zubin Zakari. I tend to run into him at least once a year these days.
As I said, there is a disproportionate number of Canadians in the area. First we talk about killer Canadian geese, and now there's an extra Canadian, Zubin Sarkari, who is the, let's call it, above all else, a really nice guy, but does yeoman work with both the major leagues and minor leagues. And whose claim to fame, believe it or not, might have been having been hit in the box by a beamer from Sean Tate.
Brutal. I mean, usually I laugh at moments like that, but that was hard to laugh at.
There is nothing about that worth laughing at. Absolutely nothing.
But overall, I mean, definitely someone who's come out of that Canadian system as a player, but also really good administrator, good administrator, good coach at times as well, coach developer, worked with the ICC in the past. And that's what a life in sport is, isn't it? You know, you've played the sport and you've continued on to different roles. You almost end up dedicating your life to the game that you love.
Dedicating your life to the game that you love sounds very much like a description of the person standing to my immediate right.
Yeah, I mean, I do consider myself blessed to be doing everything that I do in this sport, because I do love it. Some days are great, some days are a bit frustrating, but the idea is if you can continue giving back and if you can leave the sport in a better place than when you were at, when you're playing it, then you've done a good enough job. It's all about improvement, moving it forward in the right direction for the next generation to come.
We just got really philosophical for the second over of a match. A dot ball that closes things out over number 2. 2 runs coming from the over. 7 without loss after 2.
Well, it sounds philosophical, but I mean, you know, we've all played this, but we're all here because we've had a lot of affection towards the sport. We've got joy out of it. We have got, even through the ups and downs, we've had more ups to want to continue being involved in the game. And for me, when I look at the good times that I've had as a player, I want to make sure that the players to come in the future should not only have a better time, but should also be able to have more of a future out of it. You know, we didn't have a lot of opportunities back in the day. I'm one of the lucky ones who's been able to continue on with some of the opportunities that I've had, and I want to try and make sure that we continue offering those opportunities, especially at the associate level. It is tough at the associate level. Mm-hmm. Picked up really well. No, correction, picked up straight into the hands of the fielder. I thought that might have had enough to sail over. That's going to be wicket number 1.
So, Manali Patel, in addition to everything else that you've accomplished in cricket, you're also a very accomplished coach. Talk me through this choice of shot with that field.
You're in the power play overs, and that's one of the 2 fielders that's outside the circle. Placement could have been better. The shot was on, placement not quite where it needed to go. But you got to take your chances. T20 cricket, you know, you've got batting to come, and we want to try and enable our batters. We want to try and give them the confidence to be able to play those shots. Sometimes they do come off, and then no one complains.
So you are, in many ways, a mystery commentator. Because at times where I'm expecting you to hammer somebody, you put a nice pillow underneath their head and lay them down very gently. This for me is a shot you don't play with that field. Oh my goodness, he's right there 65 yards away looking at you, hoping that you play that shot, and you serve it right down his throat. Again,
I think the placement could have been better, not denying that. But if you would have gotten enough and it would have sailed over the fielder's head, we would have all said top shot, right?
Who is it? The great, I think it might have been Sir Everton Weeks. Yes, I'm really aging myself now. Who says, keep it down or hit it? You have no idea who Everton Weeks is. The 3 W's? Nothing? Wow. Jeez, we need a remedial lesson on West Indies cricket for you. Everton Weeks, you know what, never mind. The idea is keep it down or hit it out. If you think that you can blast it onto Highway 290, you blast it onto Highway 290.
And he did. He just didn't get enough on it.
In the direction of Highway 290, 40 yards away.
I think, you see, this is where a lot of, well, juggle,
yeah,
caught while onto the stumps. I think this is where a lot of the newer style of coaching is differing from the older style of coaching, of how we enable our players. Good bit of turn on that as well, right off the surface.
Yes.
Some
Yep.
grip and turn. The wickets had some time to dry throughout the day. Saw very minuscule cracks on it this morning. There's the reverse, and that's reverse done well right there. Still not enough to get over the line, but well placed.
Well, it's a shot that, if it is placed properly and appropriately, it can be productive. And with the left armer turning the ball away from the right-handed batter, it's actually a good option. Look, a little bit of turn going away, definitely. So it's over the top of slip. You don't have a huge issue with that. I'll play it away into the deep, looking for more, and gets 4 of them, I believe. We'll see what the response is here. Nope. My apologies. Actually, I lost complete track. Keep it, as the kids say, keeping it real. I lost complete track of the ball. So
it is game 3 on day 1.
It is
so
the third of 3 games in the day, and we are struggling. I have unofficially 12 for 1. The scoreboard has 11 for 1. Appeal and gone. Umpire Myron James with enough of a look to think that this is crashing into the stumps. I think umpire Manali Patel thinks this is also out. Let me ask her. What do you think, Manali?
That looked like a pretty easy decision. Full straight would have been crashing onto middle and leg, I think. It is onto that back pad.
Middle and leg is overstating it, but I think it's probably either hitting or clipping leg stump. I want to take a look at this again, but I think this is hit. Certainly not middle, but certainly middle and leg. Sorry, certainly not middle, certainly not middle and leg, but I think leg. But either event, I think it is out. Take a look at the replay when we can. Take a look at this. From around the wicket, very wide angle. Okay, I might give you middle and leg. That one I might give you. And look at Amir Hamza Hotak beg for that wicket. And the appeal officially or initially handled or responded to in the affirmative by Myron James. I went through about 4 words there and still haven't found the one I needed.
Oh, I noticed. Absolutely noticed. But what an over this is. Amir Hamza, 2 wickets. Started with a wicket in the over. Just picked up his 2nd wicket. 11 for 2 now. And in a little bit of trouble here, the Columbus Falcons.
In event, 1 over, make that 1 ball remaining. No, that is the end of the over. Yep, because this is the new bowler now coming from this end. Yeah. So we're into the 4th over. New bowler bowling from the forest end is going to be named shortly because nobody's shirt matches to what our notes say. Big picture, let's reset where we are now. Columbus Falcons choosing to bat first, have lost 2 wickets inside the power play. That's never a good thing. And Sharad Lumba, Faraz Ali is at the crease. I believe that is Sharad Lumba at the non-striker's end. We'll get all of that. Kunwarjit Singh, actually. And we'll see exactly who the fielders or the bowler is, as we're still waiting on all of that to update. But I think, again, big picture, you will be disappointed for having lost a couple of wickets inside the power play. And so a dot to start over number 4. It is in fact Sharad Lumba. Mid on. Shy at the stumps at the non-striker's end. That was close. But they do get a single. Suleiman is the bowler. Suleiman Arabzai. Suleiman, left arm quick. And so you're in the second half of the power play here. Early days yet, but who do you give the advantage to at this stage of the game? Manali Patel.
Oh, let's take a look at the 2 lineups for both of these sides. I feel like it's early days, but I might have to say Columbus Falcons. It's very interesting bowling action, isn't it? Just where he finishes that release of the ball. That momentum, instead of going towards the stumps, he actually finishes about square leg. If it is to a right-hander, that's where that upper body is just finishing up. Often talk about momentum, especially with fast bowlers, making sure that all of it is going towards the target.
Wide.
I always enjoy seeing fast bowlers appeal for a caught behind when it's wide.
It's a very accurately designed distraction operation.
Accurately. I've never seen it work.
If I'm loud enough, take a look at this. Oh yeah, nothing close. If I'm loud enough, maybe the umpire will forget about the fact that I just got it about 2 feet wider than I wanted it to.
I think that should be 2 wides though. If you appeal and it is a wide, you should be penalized for 1 more wide.
Where's that gone? That is a solid blow that goes all the way for 4. If you were named Queen of Cricket,
in the slot, picked up beautifully, couple bounces, 4 runs.
And you were given all the authority to change one, either outright rule or law or regulation in cricket, what would that be?
So I do believe that the game has become too batter friendly. And even well placed again. This is in the gap. Is it going to have the legs? No, it's not. Really good effort by the fielder in the deep. Even as a former batter, I will say that I enjoy a game that's balanced between batter and bowler, and that contest is important for it to be called cricket.
Correct.
So the 200 and something runs that we're seeing in T20 cricket, 4s and 6s are great once in a while. I know that's what a lot of people enjoy it for, but to me that really isn't the contest that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for 4s and 6s. I'm looking for that competition between the bat and ball. And so if we've allowed bigger bats and we've allowed pitches to be... That's another wide. He's really struggling to find his length here. If we've allowed decks to be flat, batter friendly, if we've allowed power plays to be in the favor of batters, then I think the bowler should be allowed to change the condition of the ball. And I don't mean shining the ball. I mean actually changing the condition.
You right up until that last part.
Well, I just don't understand. I mean, you've changed the size of the bats.
Sure.
You have changed everything you potentially could for the batter.
Sure.
You've got to give some leeway to the bowlers here to keep that contest in check.
I 100% agree with needing to restore balance between bat and ball, but that's not a one change thing. That is an entire philosophy of saying, okay, are we going to allow the bowlers to bowl wider? Are we going to allow more than one bouncer per over? Are we going to allow down the leg side to not necessarily be immediately wide?
Yeah, but here's the deal. Those are all little moments of the game.
Sure.
But we have changed conditions of the game for the batter. We've changed the actual surface that we're playing on for the batter.
So then tell me the one thing you changed. The one thing you changed is allow the bowlers to deface the ball.
Not deface. Let's use it appropriately, please. I would allow them to work on the condition of the ball.
Everybody walking out the field with a cap on and sandpaper in the back pocket.
No, you shouldn't be allowed to use anything else. Right. No other.
Just don't cut your fingernails for a while.
Well, I mean, back in the day, come on, players use their zippers, they used all kinds of things. You know that. Come on.
I'm weird. I'm West Indian. We don't cheat. Fall wickets. This one, Manala Patel, I thought would have been way more harsh. That straightforward catch, and then this LBW decision that is hitting middle and leg. Yes, she gets it right. Mine is not quite as philosophical as that. Mine is simply this. if a runner is going for a run, and the bowler, or the fielder rather, scores a direct hit, the ball is dead at the point where there's a direct hit. Because as of right now, it's a direct hit and the ball is deflected away. It can go for 4 and all those runs count. For me, you're penalizing the fielder for having an accurate arm. So I don't think he should be allowed to score to capitalize off of the fact that he got a direct hit.
That's a fair point.
I've been beating that drum for the last 30 years.
It's a very fair point. I'm just thinking like overall in the context of how much the game's changed for bowlers. I really do feel for modern day bowlers.
I don't know. I don't think I could play cricket today. Thank God I came along 30, 40 years ago, because I would not be able to play under these conditions. And look, I love cricket as much as the next guy, but maybe I would have had to reinvent myself. Like you reinvented yourself to be a bowler, I'd have reinvented myself to be a batsman.
I didn't reinvent myself. I was a genuine all-rounder. Come on now. The only thing I reinvented was going from pace to off-spin because back injuries. Reinvent. By the way, this over, he is really struggling. 3 wide so far. And now a bit of a discussion, and I'm not sure if it's an argument, just a discussion of some sort. Yeah, I used to bowl part-time pace, and then completely threw my back out in the season that I played in Australia, and then I was like, off-spin sounds great.
The great Michael Anthony Holding met my son when he used to play cricket, meaning my son used to play cricket, and he said, "What do you do? I'm an all-rounder. Do you bowl pace or spin?" Pace. Where do you bat? Open the batting. He said, switch to spin. Because
longevity
has so much to do with it. Look, being a pace bowler has its attractiveness, the big strapping, the Ian Bishops and the Michael Holdings and the Joel Garners, but those careers don't last as long.
I didn't have any of those big shoulders. But I agree with you. Extremely tough to being a pace bowler. I mean, your back, your ankles, everything takes such a hit. It's one of those facets of the game where longevity definitely takes a hit. And now we've got more of an understanding of how to manage the fast bowler's body and how to maintain it. But check shot. And in the gap, this will run away for 4 runs. For a second, I thought he might not have had enough with that fielder, but he's checked it to exactly where he needed it. 4 runs picked up.
It's a good looking shot. Inside out, going over the top of and wide of long off. Good looking shot, and boy, I am blown away at the fact that about the best thing about this game so far is that the spinners, just like they have all day, are operating very, very well. Same direction, simple as you like, another wicket down.
Ball before, check shot, and had better placement and better distance. This time around, goes for the full-fledged swing and does not get the middle of the bat. This is going to be wicket number 3. And the Falcons, who won the toss and chose to bat first, they've really not gotten the start that they were hoping for. Safe pair of hands as well. Vikash Mohan, the player in the deep, to take that catch. 26 for 2.
I hate to be harsh. Once again, with this field, that is a nothing shot. If you the previous delivery opened the face and guided it wide of the fielder in the deep. Here we see it again, just serving it right down his throat. That is the simplest of catches. Now, Mayank Patel is the man who's making his way to the middle. Let's see if the few runs that he got this morning before he was unfortunately run out, really comically run out. So your batters, Faraz Ali, and now Manang Patel. Once again, Manang Patel, the U.S. captain and top order batter.
Something about the shirt of the Falcons reminds me of the Canadian shirt. The red and the black stripes.
Interesting. Okay. Say more.
That's it. That's the end of it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, outside edge. Genuine outside edge. Had there been a first slip, that would have been down his throat. But he gets 4.
Extra bit of pace on that. Extra bit of zip. And Manang Patel manages
In fact, there was
thick,
a first slip. Had there been a second slip is what I should have said.
thick outside edge.
Mm-hmm.
Call it placed well. Well placed.
That's very kind of you. It feels like a very anticlimactic session that is going on right now. It feels like the energy has been let out of the room. Amir Hamza Hotak is bowling really well. 2.4 overs, 3 wickets are ready for him. All 3 wickets have been taken by Amir Hamza Hotak. Just one ball remaining here in over number 5. Manang Patel will keep the strike. Another good over bowled it by Amir Hamza Hotak. End of 5, 31 for 3.
Three early wickets. 5 overs gone. 31 on the cards. And we've got the captain of USA out in the middle, Manang Patel. Faraz Ali, 10 off 8. Not the start they would have liked, the Columbus Falcons, when they won the toss and they chose to have a bat first. In the first game, we saw 150, or correction, second game, 151 was not enough on the cards to defend. Atlanta Fire winning that in decent enough fashion, and you'd assume this will be a fairly similar game. They're going to need close to that 155, 160 mark to be in a comfortable position. But it's been very clear that in all of the games so far, the idea is to take pace off the ball, make the batters work hard, make the batters generate that power off the bat. And it's worked quite effectively. Amir Hamza into the attack, goes nice and full. Faisal, correction? Not Amir Hamza. Faisal Ahmedzai.
Faisal Ahmedzai is, and that one threw you and me both for a loop because I was completely expecting for that to be the bowler who you announced. back for a second run. So, look, you've gotten off to a relatively decent start in terms of your run rate, but you've lost 3 wickets inside the power play. So that's never going to be something that you'll be satisfied with. You put yourself behind the 8 ball by, excuse me, by losing that many wickets inside the power play. So it's going to be up to them now to pull things back. Whipped around the corner for 4. That is a really good looking shot. Take a look at this again. Maybe just a little bit too straight by Faisal Ahmedzai. Short, going around, got down the leg side. So that, you don't mind short, but short and too straight will go for runs. And easily helping himself to 4 runs there was Faraz Ali.
That angle as well, going across the batter, not helping the cause. Pretty quiet power play though, isn't it? They haven't been allowed to attack the bowling. Faraz Ali just backing away as the fielders are moving.
It's just a lot of, I don't know that you get to the point where you start banking on the fielders being able to back you up. At some point, you need to take responsibility and say, this ball needs to be on the line of off stump or maybe on the 4th stump line, short of driving length. I need to help myself put my team in a better position by building pressure. Haven't really seen that so far in this over.
I've got to say, the pace at which we're delivering ball after ball is quite slow, and I'd be keen to seeing what the over rate is. I feel like we are behind on the over rate.
In this game, definitely. No question. Now, having played 2 games this morning, one 12-over game and the other a T20, both going the distance. On balance, the game or the teams in the first 2 games, I think did very well to move the game along. But here, this does feel like it's dragging a little bit, doesn't it?
I know the Pacers do have a long run up, but still, there just doesn't seem to be much of that intensity to get through the over. Looking to throw his hands at that. No real timing, not really getting close enough to the ball. Not quite ready to release the ball on that occasion. He's running in from about 30 yards away. Just outside that 30-yard circle, I think. Oh no, just a little bit inside that. Picked up. And it will go quite the distance. I think it's going to be hard to find that ball. In fact, it is in the bush. And an expensive over. 14 runs coming off of it. 6 overs gone. 45 for 3. It's also going to bring on the end of the power play.
Picked up is exactly right. Very little flourish. That's a brilliant shot by Manan Patel. You mentioned that he came in off of a relatively lean run of form in the World Cup. Couldn't tell from that shot. That is a clean pickup, and it wasn't as bad a ball as he made it look. You like the line just outside the line of off stump, maybe just short of driving length, but if you make the slightest of errors to a good batter, a batter like Manan Patel, and certainly will qualify as such, and he makes you pay for it.
There's a signal. End of the power play. It's just teed off, hasn't he?
Amazing.
A little bit of extra height as well. Extra bounce, but he's done well to adjust. Might just have a little bit of a delay here as we look for that ball. We'll take a short break as well while they find this ball. We'll be back momentarily. Looks like we have, in fact, found the ball. Not quite summer weather here in Texas, is it? It's actually quite perfect outside. But in the summer, I mean, I've been here at least once in the summer, and that is hot.
There are around 2 to 3 months of the year where you want to be in Texas.
I thought you were going to say in Canada, but okay.
No. Why would I want to be in Canada? Anyway, so March and April.
Why would you not?
Are 2. The third would probably be November. The others, for example, the hottest month of the year here is in August. August is oppressive, but this is one of the more pleasant times that you can be in Texas.
And now, do you play cricket here in those hot months?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now, umpiring in these conditions is a bit of a challenge because the players want a water break after every over, which you can't have. But you also have to have multiple water breaks per innings because you don't want anybody to,
Die.
Somebody dying while you're umpire because you refuse them water would be that's probably at least against 3 or 4 regulations having to do with cricket.
Cutaway in the gap as well. Just the one run. I didn't actually ask you how was your lunch? I've never gotten a box like this. Swept away, and another single picked up. Dealing in singles with the odd boundary that they're able to put away. Again, early days, just finished the power play, and plenty of overs to come. Looking for that slog sweep, Monank Patel. Just starting to see a bit of frustration from Monank Patel. He's missed 2 in a row, and it's going to be the end of the over. 48 for 3 after 7. Abhishek Paradkar into the attack with the ball. I don't know, Brian. I think I'm being a bit of a stickler on the over rate here, but I genuinely feel like they have really taken a lot of time in between deliveries. I know at the moment they're trying to figure out a couple of issues on the field, but
I would completely agree with you. This game started 3:45. It's now 4:34, so we're about 50 minutes in, and we're in over number 8. That's, if you think 15 overs an hour. 15 overs an hour is tricky, but you gotta do better than 8 overs in 40 to 50 minutes.
pulled away. And it's a tracer bullet as it runs away for 4 runs.
Abhishek Paradkar is a good bowler. He's a very good bowler, one of the better all-rounders in the country. His strength is not trying to come up and bowl short in a wicket that doesn't offer much bounce. His strength is bowling fuller length and getting the ball in the right areas outside the line of off stump. And at that length, at that pace, that will get put away.
Tucked away. This is intelligent batting. Picked up a boundary and picked up a single the very next ball. Oh, that's really well bowled. And Manang Patel does well to get some bat on this.
So that's more what you want to see from Abhishek Paradkar. Fuller length and gets enough lateral movement to be able to sort of beat the half-hearted defensive shot by Manang Patel. If you go too short, then Manang Patel will punish you. But that last delivery is what you want to see from Abhishek Paradkar.
Through the offside, very similar as the first delivery of the over, and it's going to be yet another boundary.
Yeah, let's just wait.
And it's a no ball as well, so this is going to be a free hit. Insult to injury for the bowler.
It's just way too wide, isn't it? Oh, well over, by the way. He was over by a good 3 inches there. And then the width is punished by Manang Patel, and as you said, Manang Patel is now in the position of being able to cash in on a free hit. Oh,
Tries to go wide, just not wide enough. Manang Patel, unfortunately, hasn't found the middle of his bat and misses out on the free hit. It'd just be a single this time. So a lot of these players now have come from across the country. Yeah, a lot of them live in California, some from Texas, some from the Carolinas, Florida, New York, New Jersey.
for example, this Bay Blazers are essentially all from the East Bay in the Northern California area. I was just in Northern California last weekend to see my son play. The temperature was 30 degrees cooler than this. So this is not going to be something that they're accustomed to. But it felt like you were asking me a specific question beyond that.
I was actually going to ask, so for a lot of these players who are new to this area, what do people do in Prairie View or in Houston?
What is there to do?
Yeah.
Eat barbecue? Oh my goodness. Why would you not want to eat barbecue if you have a chance?
And the rodeo's not on right now, right, in Texas?
Rodeo finished in late February, if I'm not mistaken.
How many rodeos have you been to?
I moved here long before you were born, 1982. I believe that I went to the rodeo probably the first 4 years that I lived here.
And that's it.
Yes, and after that, it's like going to NASA. After a while, you just get tired.
Some of us wouldn't know. End of the 8th over, 61 for 3. I've not been to a rodeo. Wanted to go to the rodeo just for the experience, but I don't know if I quite agree with the way the animals are, quite treated in that whole environment.
I would agree with you completely. Now, having said that, but in fact, let's take a look at this. A couple of good looking shots, but then this one is straight down the throat of the fielder at long on. And then a few other really good deliveries. That one bang in front of Midland leg, I think we eventually decided. And then looked to me that was just a shot that was not necessarily the sharpest or the smartest with that field. Then a good couple of shots here. And then this next one is a huge shot by Manal Patel, pulled away into the deep by Faraz Ali. There you see the no ball that was called and the subsequent free hit. So a lot of action so far, but 8 overs in the books, 6-1 runs on the board. Feels like you have a long way to go here for you to be at respectability. Back to you asking about the rodeo. The rodeo is actually a great cultural experience if you were to experience it. There is a huge controversy because this week or this year, for the first time, the Houston Rodeo enacted a dress code because people were showing up at the rodeo in articles of clothing. Is that dropped? No, it didn't quite get there. Articles of clothing that belong nowhere in public, and it had slowly gotten worse over the years, such that they now had to put their foot down and institute a dress code. That's the biggest thing that came out of the rodeo this year. Let's see on that replay, that just falling short of the field as short extra cover. Hammered away into the deep for a single. So, very long way of saying, Manal Patel, that if you leave the cocoon that is the northern frozen tundra, you can actually experience some really cool cultural aspects of living in Texas if you were to venture down this way. If you were so inclined.
Interesting. I didn't even know some of these issues existed. But like I said, I mean, the experience of it would be something interesting, something different. But I'm a vegetarian, so that whole thing with the animal cruelty and whatnot doesn't quite... It's not something I look forward to in that sense.
So you wouldn't violate being a vegetarian long enough to just experience Texas barbecue?
Absolutely not, no. Don't need to kill an animal to feed myself.
Don't know what you're missing out on. But you kill plants to kill you, to feed yourself.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No. It's not how we bend the rules. Otherwise, we'd be allowed to work on the ball the way I'm saying in cricket.
So we brought it all the way back to cricket, didn't we?
Mind you, bending the rules at the moment is a hot topic.
This is true.
Chipped down the ground and in a safe space.
Well, This game, as we said earlier, just feels like it's dragging on a little bit. Not a lot of energy in the field. The field changes tend to be relatively slow. But 9 overs in, 6-4 for 3 on the board. Let's see whether or not this pair can put on a partnership that is worth giving the bowlers something to aim at. You will find no complaints from me, Miss Manala Patel. This really does feel like it's dragging a little bit more than you'd expect. So over number 10 is about to be bowled. And it is going to be practice Vikas Mohan is going to be bowling. No, it's how can it be Vikas Mohan? Is he still bowling? Is he still in the middle of his over? Yeah.
I'm quite flummoxed as to the amount of time it's taken to get this over started here. I am quite shocked, in fact. And this would have to be a captain issue to not be able to get their troops.
It would also seem that the umpires would need to be a little bit more aggressive about enforcing the expectation for an overrate.
Fani Teja into the attack.
Fani Simadri, okay.
Talent.
Absolute talent. He's also wearing the wrong jersey, but that's okay. We'll let that pass for now. One of the great bowlers.
No,
in
he's
T20
definitely
cricket.
wearing the right shirt. Number 24.
Very interesting, because I have number 24 as Vikas Mohan, but we'll let that slide for the time being, unless there are two number 24s. Then I stand corrected. Fani Simadri. By the way, Bay Blazers have to lead the league in left arm bowlers. You have left arm pace bowlers, left arm spinners. This, whether left or right, is a big hit down the ground for 6.
It's out of the ground and into the bush again. Monak Patel latching onto this one. This is very well hit for 6.
It's getting that one a little bit too full, Fani Simadri. And in any way possible, you don't want to serve the ball there to Manang Patel. He will absolutely obliterate you if that's the length and the line that you're bowling. Fani Simadri is a very intelligent bowler. You almost never get 2 deliveries the same from him in a row. So he'll know to change something up. You'll want to pull the length back, or maybe you go slow cutter into the surface. There are things that he can do to negate big hitting by the opposition, but the one thing you can't do is give Manang Patel the ball in the slot the way that one just was.
Missing his line again. This time straying too far down leg. Should be leg buys. Leg buys it is. By the way, I've been meaning to tell you, the lunch that we got today, this amazing Subway box, I've never seen that. I don't think we have Subway boxes in Canada. It's this combo box where you've got half a sub in there, and then you've got a bag of chips and a cookie, and it's just the perfect amount of food, but very convenient to carry it in this box.
Correct.
And it's a paper box, so it's also, recyclable and whatnot. Okay, yeah, these are things that are important to Canadians, okay? You laugh at me.
I'm not at all laughing. I'm impressed that you're that taken aback by a Subway box with food in it.
I have never seen one of these boxes. I was quite amazed. I was like, this is very handy actually to carry. Leg side this time, in the gap, and it's going to be 4 more. Beautiful stroke this time. Faraz Ali getting into the attack.
Yeah, Vanessa Marjorie not having the best over. He is a much better bowler than what you've seen from the last several deliveries. Around the wicket, but from around the wicket, you want to be much more outside the line of off stump than that. And it goes away for 4. No question that you want to be more outside the line of off stump. Faraz Ali now 30 from 18. Manak Patel 31 from 24. So these two are looking to put together a decent partnership here. 1 ball remaining here in the over number 10. That's better. The line that you want played out into the offside. 16 runs come from the 10th over. Halfway through the first innings, we are 25% of the way through this match. Manal Patel, 80 for 3 after 10.
Looks like the batters are going to have a quick drink at the halfway stage. Going at 8 runs and over. The last couple of overs have been decent for the Columbus Falcons. I don't know if I've told you this or not, but Beyblazer sounds very much like Beyblades. It's a kids anime show and toy where you've got these little top-like discs that you pull like a string through it, and it fires this top to spin really quickly. And there's this plastic arena where you can fight each other to see whose top lasts the longest. Have you never heard of Beyblades?
No.
See, we can both talk about things that we've not heard of, but see, you talk about things that are ancient, and I talk about things that are more current.
Things that I talk about that are ancient are cool. Who doesn't know about Everton Weeks? Sir Everton Weeks.
Who doesn't know about Beyblades?
Sir Everton Weeks was the first batter to score 5 consecutive hundreds in Test cricket. And I'm pretty sure that he got run out in the 6th inning for like 80.
Impressive.
Very much so.
Very, very impressive.
You are in Barbados, you've been to Barbados, yes? You go to the Kensington Oval in Barbados. If you went to the Kensington Oval in Barbados, you were sitting at the southern end of the ground. You'd be sitting in the 3W stand. 3Ws. Sir Everton Weeks, Sir Frank Worrell, Sir Clyde Walcott.
Cut away, up and over, and this is a very good looking stroke. Fortunately, there is a fielder in the deep. And just a bit of extra bounce to the keeper. So there is a test series coming up for the West Indies. Do they have any games scheduled in Barbados?
Oh, you have just touched on a very hot topic in the Caribbean.
Because I did see the statement by the Prime Minister, is she, of Barbados?
Yeah, Motley, yes.
And she's clearly not very happy with the Cricket West Indies higher ups. I mean, she makes legitimate points. Tends to happen when you get women in these roles, though, you know?
As someone who has been to Barbados no fewer than 20 times, going to matches started in 1999, I can tell you that Barbados is about the best location in the Caribbean for cricket. So for there to be 2 different touring teams playing test matches in the Caribbean, Barbados did not get 1 single test. It is unheard of.
So what is the reason behind that, though?
I am not educated enough to tell you why. I cannot imagine, for example, why Antigua got 2 test matches, Trinidad got 2 test matches, Barbados 0.
I mean, given that most of these games will be done very early, maybe they could just schedule an extra one in Barbados.
Oh, where did that roundhouse come from?
Just stating some calculated facts. based on evidence of recent times. I felt like I hit a nerve.
I'm low-key insulted. I'm very, very insulted.
And yet you would agree with me.
I would not in any way disagree with you, but I would still be insulted.
11 overs gone. It's 87 for 3. Just goes to...
Before you say that, I can name a Barbados 11 that would beat any other team easily. Just Barbados is 20 miles by 8 miles, 166 square miles. It's a dot in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. Easily the best, highest number of test cricketers per square mile of anywhere on the planet. And if I tell you the best 11 players from Barbados, that 11 would beat any other world 11 that you could possibly imagine. As the kids say, facts.
Is it also true now that a lot of Jamaican kids are not taking on cricket? They're choosing to take on track and field and other sports because cricket just isn't as appealing.
It's not either or. We've always been good at track and field in Jamaica, going all the way back to Sir Donald Quarry. You know what? I'll call names you've never heard any of them. We've always been excellent in track and field. I think the difference now is with the lure of...
That is going to be wicket number 4. Short delivery. Attacking the batter. And unfortunately, that pull is going to find the hands of the fielder. They needed this wicket because this partnership was starting to rack up on runs and confidence.
We interrupt this conversation about sports in the Caribbean to get back to the match that we're actually supposed to be covering. With sharp delivery, no control over that pull shot by Faraz Ali, and with a simple catch taken in fine leg. He did have a very good innings. Faraz Ali, 34 from 22, batted well, but that dismissal. But 3, exactly right. 23 is what he faced. 34 runs to his name. The great Hassan in the producer's box does not miss a single detail. But back to this match. 87 for 3, you're 1. Make that for 4, you're 1 delivery into over number 12. And as it stands, you've gotten a decent partnership. Manang Patel and Faraz Ali putting on 61 runs for the 4th wicket. Fall of that wicket means that you have some more work to do. Here you see that short delivery again. Yusuf Sazai is the bowler who is into the attack and breaking the partnership. Really needed to have that happen.
Back to a rebuilding phase now. It will help that Manang Patel's still out in the middle. He's found form as well, 35 of 27.
Agni Chopra, new batter. Agni Chopra. I'm going with the one with Agni on his shirt. It does. Left-handed batter. And back to... In fact, the bowler... At some point I'm going to give up on knowing who is who because we can't tell anything else going on. Look at this replay again. Shy at the non-striker, or at the striker's end, the bowl, he would have been short. Look at that. That would have been gone. But we'll see exactly what we can do here. The exact contours of this match can be changing from one minute to the next. But let's just say that 87, make that 88 for 4 is where we are now. Back to the bowler, no run. So on balance, in fact, this says Ghulam Mudassar is the bowler. And on balance, where you are now, you wanted to break the partnership. You've succeeded in doing that. But it's now going to be up to you to capitalize and maybe get one more. As they say, one brings two. And the second one, you'd want for that to be Manang Patel, who's warming up 35 from 28, 36 from 29 with that single. So, Manang, things are, let's just say things are sputtering along in second gear here.
I think they're poised fairly well. If it wasn't for losing the 4 wickets, 89 runs on the cards, they've just got over the halfway point. And they're setting themselves up for a really decent total, especially that partnership hadn't been broken. But Manang Patel's still out there. Change of pace.
Seen that happen, or seen that be very effective. In fact, it's actually Yusuf Zazai who is now bowling. And so we go all the way back to the bowlers in this moment are just trying to launch a bit of a comeback. I don't know that you've seen the fluency that you want from the batters. Certainly not as you saw when Manang Patel was batting with Faraz Ali. Taking wickets always slows down the run rate, doesn't it? And that feels like it's the end of the over. So just 2 runs coming from the over and a wicket. Big one from Yusuf Zazai. End of over number 12. The score is 89 for 4. So, into over number 13. Amir Hamza Hotak, 3 for 20 from his 3.1 overs, so easily been the pick of the bowler so far. To his last over now. So far I think you would back Amir Hamza Hotak for being in the running for player of the match so far. Cut away. A lot of work by short third. He will not be able to get there. Abhishek Paradkar cannot get across in time, and it goes away for 4. Look at this. Just a little bit of width. Yeah, you want to be much closer to the stumps than that, and that's cut away fiercely. And again, even with the slow outfield. And I said Abhishek Paradkar. My apologies. That was actually Huzbella Durrani. In any event, you've gotten now to the point where you're starting to build, maybe not momentum, maybe a little bit too strong of a word, but you want to at least start pushing toward where you were before the last wicket partnership was broken.
off a shout. It should be leg buys. It is leg buys. Signal by the umpire.
Certainly leg bias came off his shoulder. Appealing for a leg before. That's very, very optimistic on that appeal.
I mean, it was signaled leg buys. It's not shoulder buys.
Play it down the ground.
You know, you asked me if I was able to change something, what I would change in cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd probably get the MCC to stop changing rules every 2 weeks. I mean, can you imagine in countries like, North American countries, South American countries, we're trying to teach the sport to people who are new to it, who've not been exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, we change the rules every 2 weeks because MCC feels like it. How do you then continue to teach the sport when they're barely keeping up with
the rules that they actually have?
Exactly.
Solid point. Solid point. I would not disagree with any of that.
Because then you're like, oh, sorry, that was allowed 2 weeks ago.
Can't do that anymore.
Can't do that anymore.
So just one ball remaining in the spell here for Amir Hamza Hotak. And I'd like to think that as he delivers that last ball, it's a dot, some really good stuff. You put yourself in a decent position, and with the last 42 balls to go, 97 runs on the board, that projects to score about 149. 149 feels about par for where they are right now. When I say par, I mean given where they are with 4 minutes down. If they do come in and throw the bats a little bit towards the end of the innings, you can't expect them to get anything around the 160, 170 that they'd be looking for when they chose the bats. Bless you.
It's the pollen, actually. It's apparently really high yesterday and today. We're still managing to find spring in Canada.
Be glad you were not here 6 months ago because it was unbearable.
In what sense? The pollen.
Yes. Tees off and goes big and goes for 6. Very decent shot, that one. In fact, it's Manan Patel with that 6 goes over wide mid wicket for his second 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Just not the best of deliveries, is it? And it's set up beautifully for Manan Patel to be able to swing his arms at that. Bit of a nothing delivery from the bowler. And someone with the caliber of Manan Patel, that's easy pickings.
Signal there from umpire Aaron James, who was begging for somebody. In fact, that is McVin Frederick begging for somebody to acknowledge his upstretched arms. Square of the wicket this time, so just a single down to deep points. By the way, that's 6 bringing up the 100. So you're at 104 for 4. 2 delivers remaining. 2 delivers having been bowled in over number 14. I said 140 over 149 earlier, but 149 can turn into 190 if Manan Patel stays to the end. He can be a really destructive hitter of the ball. And Agni Chopra 6 from 6, striking it at a 100 strike rate. So they want to have something beneficial come from this partnership. A couple of signals after the 6, so he's certainly off to a good start here. Down to the last 39 balls in the innings. 39 balls in innings. If you go at the rate of 10 and over, that gets you to 170. Current run rate is 7.78, so it doesn't take a whole lot to push you on from there. about the fact that there are a bunch of Canadians around. There's one Canadian directly in front of us right now.
You missed it. It was 3 Canadians
3 in a row?
together, yeah.
I completely missed that. So, Nitish Kumar, one of a handful of men to have played internationally for multiple countries. Started his career as a teenager playing for Canada. In recent years, has moved down to the U.S. and played for the U.S. team as recently as, if I'm not mistaken, the World Cup from a couple of years ago. Still think that he has a part to play in U.S. cricket. There's a lot of T20 batters around. I don't know that there are very many who fit the bill in terms of being able to play both T20 and 50 over cricket as Nitish Kumar does. So I really am high on him as a player.
Very nearly chopped on. I did find it interesting that he's got a T20 specialist reputation here, because he is very much so a 50 over player as well. Very technical, very easy on the eyes. So I'm surprised to not see him in the 50 over setup.
It's mystifying to me. I have learned a long time ago that I don't ever want to be near the select of the conversation. But if you just ask me who are the best 11 players in the country who play 50 over cricket, a combination of experience and ability, you could do much worse than select Nitish Kumar. Played away off the angled bat, running away down the hill for 4.
And with that, it's going to be a half century as well for Manak Patel. 50 off 37 deliveries, and he's found form and a good time as well for his side. Talented player, experienced player. And he should see his side through this innings and get them in a comfortable position. You know, we mentioned form is important, especially when you got the likes of the MLC coming up. You've got some of the USA games coming up. Always a bit difficult when the captain is not in form. It just makes it so much easier when the captain is.
You were the captain for your side also for a while, were you not?
Very briefly. We won't talk about why, but this is the half century of Manak Patel. Excellent stroke play all around the park, but it's that leg side that he's favored. Except for that one, where it was wide enough for him to be able to slash away for 4 runs to bring up his half century.
So the week and a half that you were captain, what was your batting form like at that time?
Yeah, not bad actually. I think leadership suited me well. I had captained when I was playing in Australia that season that I did. One of the grades that I was playing, I'd captained. Again, we're not going to talk about reasons, but
Sure. I always found it very, very difficult to read the game as captain. I read the game better when I was not thinking, okay, who's going to bowl next, or who, at what point do I need to bring my deep third inside the row. All of those conversations to me came a lot easier if I was not the one tasked with the responsibility of captaining on that team or on the field.
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because some people love that extra responsibility. Another excellent stroke, and that, I can't call it a reverse sweep. I can probably call it a reverse paddle of some sort. As this runs away for another boundary.
Yep.
Total control of this shot, though, Manak Patel. Some people... Sorry, go ahead.
Please. Some people
do really well with that additional bit of responsibility, and they take it on. They take that leadership role on as a motivator of their own performance, and then you've got others who go the other way and they can't quite handle that pressure. We've seen it with the likes of some greats, even Sachin Tendulkar, not really good as a captain. And you've got the likes of Sourav Ganguly, who did really well with that additional pressure. Recently, Amelia Kerr as well from New Zealand, great player as a whole, but since she's gotten the captaincy, she has completely turned things around for herself. It just comes down to personalities as well and how you handle that pressure and responsibility. Everyone manages it a little bit differently. I guess Virat Kohli is another example as well, you know. You compare him to Rohit Sharma, and Rohit Sharma, definitely the better captain. A bit more calm.
How important is it, as this is swept away into the deep for a couple, how important is it for the captain to not be as emotional and as fiery as, for example, a Virat Kohli is?
So I think there are two sides to that. You can have a captain who is fiery and still be able to have that respect and that accountability on both fronts to be able to make it work. And then you can have captains who are the opposite, like a Temba Bavuma, for example, where you've got the respect, he's very quiet and calm and can still manage to make it work. I think it's just what it comes down to is respect, mutual respect, and definitely earning the respect of your teammates for them to understand if you have reacted a bit more aggressively, why that might be. Ben Stokes is a really good example of that, isn't it? Aggressive captain, unlike Temba Bavuma, very different styles. And yes, you know, we can say Ben Stokes has had a bit of a hard time, but I don't think that's a captaincy issue. That is just a team issue that they're going through at the moment. I wouldn't really say it's a captaincy thing necessarily.
Very interesting. 15 overs in the books, 120 for 4. Don't look now. This is now the second highest partnership in the innings. Now worth 33. Manang Patel being the chief destroyer in this partnership. 56 from 40. Agni Chopra 11 from 10. And it's going to be change in bowling on the Forest end. The bowler is going to be Suleiman Arabzai. Open the bowling. 2 overs in the books for him. I'm looking to see whether or not he can make an impact here, as you're down to the last 30 balls of the innings. Catchable or not. Goes over the top of long on for yet another 6 from Manang Patel. I'll tell you what, it is not out of the realm of possibility, with 29 balls remaining, that Manang Patel gets to that magical figure. And I don't know why he is bowling around the wicket to Manang Patel. Suleiman Arabzai. In fact, if I were to advise him, I'd advise him to go over the wicket to create a bit of an angle going across the right-handed batter, because he's peppered the leg side, so bowling around the wicket helps him play in that direction. Another big hit and yet another 6.
It took his time when he came in and just made sure that he got back in form, got his eye in, and then the last few overs he has been very, very destructive. This is the Manang Patel that we're used to seeing. 68 of 42. And with just under 5 overs to come, 132 runs on the board, this is going to turn into a big total.
Well, earlier we had said 156 would have been the top end of what they'd be looking at, but the acceleration by Manang Patel in the last several overs has put the projected score as of right now at 172. 172 based on the current run rate of 8.6. But it wouldn't take much for Manang Patel to get his team in the 11 or 12 run and over mark from here, in which case they'd get to upwards of 183, 185. Over the top of extra cover for 4 more. Ball slowing down, but just does beat the fielder running back from extra cover. So 6-6-4 to start over number 16.
Well, this is a very expensive spell. Not 1.1 overs. We're going to get that sorted out. In his second over, 25 runs that he's given already. And he struggled to find his line and length just like that first over. Oh my word, he nearly took his batting partner out with that. And Monang Patel's going to say, you just cost me a boundary on that, you know that? Get out of the way, mate. I mean, that's supposed to be 4 runs.
So let's take a look at this. Struck very firmly. Blasted. And oh! Does really well to just evade that ball from crashing into the gloves, didn't it? Hasn't had much of the strike, Agni Chopra, but still 12 from 11. He is going along at more than a run of ball, so you like that. It's going to be up to him, Agni Chopra, to play the role to support Monang Patel at the same time that he needs to be able to score himself if he gets the right deliveries. Don't want to just be subservient and give the ball to USA captain and be able to score for yourself as well.
Down the track in the gap. And a single to end the over. An expensive over comes to an end. 16 overs gone, 139 for 4. He's been exquisite with the bat, Monang Patel.
Goodness, just huge hitting. And again, for me, the angle from around the wicket slanting into the right-handed Monang Patel or the left-handed bowler, that really helps him play aggressive shots on the leg side. So you can always second guess these things, but I think ultimately you're just not getting the ball in the right areas. Too short, too full, too straight, too wide. I've seen a little bit of all of that in this inning so far, and it has put the Columbus Falcons in a really good position. Matter of fact, you're now, after that over, at a partnership of 52. 52 being the second largest partnership in the inning so far. Let's see exactly how well you go from here. 51 officially with that partnership.
If the Falcons want to stay in this game, they've got to pick up that wicket. Monang Patel, he'll be key to keep this score in an area that their batters will be able to come and chase without having too much pressure on them.
No question. Well, this is going to be once again Faisal Ahmadzai. Monang Patel, 45 balls faced for his 38 runs faced. Balls faced for 54 runs. Make that his 74 runs, 45. My goodness. Looking to play yet another scoop shot because Nala Patel has not been irritated in a while. Faisal Ahmadzai. That ball to start over number 16. Make that over number 17. There is an outside chance for Monang Patel to get to that magical figure. What happened here?
Well, the keeper's asking for caught behind. Monang Patel's asking for a wide. And the umpire's saying, can you two just continue on with the game, please?
Neither view is right. So let's see what we can have happen here. Oh, moving away off the seam, but my goodness, I think it may well have been a wide.
I think I'm on Monang Patel's side on that one.
Now, given the discussion we were having earlier, I don't mind the bowler getting something every once in a while. Somebody made a very interesting suggestion to me.
Oh my word, nearly chopped on.
And that suggestion was you don't have to limit your bowlers to 1/5 the overs. What if a regulation would be that one bowler in a T20, for example, can bowl up to 6 overs. I actually like that idea. Once again, giving something back to the bowling side, that would to me be a good way of being able to do that.
Interesting thought.
You agree, disagree?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't know if I have an opinion on that.
You waxed poetic for several minutes about wanting to give the bowlers back something.
All I feel, though, at the moment right now, after seeing 4 dot balls and a frustrated Manak Patel, is that there's a release shot coming very soon. Just can't have him throw his wicket away at this point. He's got to see this innings through. Got to get him over that 160. It might even get to 170 at this point.
Full credit to the bowler, though. Faisal Ahmedzai. It's down the ground for a single. So in over number 17, you have just another 19 balls remaining. What can you look for the rest of the way here? A run a ball gets you to 159. Don't know that that would be enough.
It's turned out to be a very good over, though. Faisal Ahmedzai, just the 1 run so far. He was using that angle across the right-hander and Manak Patel very well. Now he's bowling to a left-hander. I still want to try and finish this over strong. It's just 1 run so far. Well, I said finish strong, and the ball wasn't quite that bad. Thick outside edge, and it's going to be a boundary to finish a very tidy over.
Yeah, it was a tidy over. Spoiled a little bit off that last ball. Looking to play it through extra cover. The ball racing over short third. So a beneficial end to the over, if you will, if you are Columbus Falcons. But ultimately a good over by Faisal Ahmedzai. Eighteenth over about to be bowled. Manak Patel has led from the front the entire way. Now 75 from 50. Agni Chopra 16 from 12. Amir Hamza Hotak is done. Yusuf Sazai has 1 remaining. In our direction, we cleaned up by the man coming in off of the rope. Let's get a slow start, but did well enough to come back into the innings here. We'll see on the replay again. Short, just a little bit of width. Able to get a single. Deep once again. Single down to ground. So it feels like we have not yet seen the day players play, but the batting, the strength of this team for me has always been in their bowling, particularly all the left-handed bowlers that they have. I'm wondering whether or not they have the firepower to go after, say, a score of 160, 170.
But to me, it's not even so much whether they've got the firepower, it's whether they're going to be able to manage that scoreboard pressure. Because you can have the power you can have the firepower in your batting lineup. And if you're setting a target, there's no real pressure. You go out there, you do your thing. But when you've got a required run rate and an equation in that situation, you might lose a couple of wickets here and there. That changes pressure. That's where things get a bit more complicated.
When you played, did you prefer to chase or to set?
I preferred to chase because then I knew the target.
Mm-hmm.
But again, conditions and, a lot of other factors come into today. Conditions aren't really much of a deciding factor. Mind you, I did play a lot of 50 over cricket than T20 cricket. So that was quite different than the shorter format.
Falcons clearly, or I should say apparently, preferring to set a target than to chase one. They had a slow start, but Manak Patel has led them in a very potentially strong position here. Still have to get through the next 14 balls. Next 14 balls, you get 20 runs. Can you figure out a way to get 25 runs even from the next 14? Ground yet again. So 5 singles from the over so far. Makes it look like a spinner's ball, doesn't it?
What is your calculation for the over rate at the moment?
8.36. 8.36 projects to a score of 167.
No, not the run rate. The over rate.
You literally said the run rate.
No, I said over rate.
Then maybe I just wanted to show off the fact that I can calculate the run rate. I don't keep up with the over rate. The 3:45 is when we started. It's now 5:30. That's 2 hours for a single innings in a T20 match.
It's supposed to last 3 hours.
The entire match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if the over rate doesn't get cleaned up very quickly, we could be playing night cricket here.
I need some lights for that. One-handed.
And the simple catch taken. Was in the air for a long time. You said it was one-handed, Manala Patel. I think you're exactly right. Ball staying in the air for a really long time, but the catch eventually taken by Faisal Ahmadzai. So that is wicket number 5. Big wicket partnership, or the big partnership is broken for the 5th wicket. In fact, it was worth exactly what the previous partnership was worth. 61 coming from it. At the end of that partnership and end of over number 18, the score is 149 for 5. So last 2 overs, 149 for 5. Big partnership has been broken. 149 runs to the good though. That's a good target to be at. Partnership worth 61 runs. And this is Yusuf Sazai, I believe, who's about to bowl. does have one over. I think that 2 overs remaining. Well, I happened to miss it, Manali Patel, so I may have to rely on you to describe what just happened.
It's an excellent shot. So much confidence and so much flair. Well inside the line of the ball, and that has been put away in a place where you wouldn't expect the ball, that ball, to end up in. Had a lot of West Indian flair in it.
It certainly did have West Indian flair. But what it also had is great hand-eye coordination, because he's moving emphatically across his crease and somehow still gets or manages to get bat on it to get it all the way down to fine leg for another boundary. Squeezes this one out onto the leg side, make that the offside for a single. Oh, goodness. So in the context of this being the last match of the day, as a player, what are you thinking about when you leave this game? Win or lose, what is your process like for recovery? What's the process like for getting ready for the next day?
Well, can't say I enjoyed this at all, but we...
Don't say ice baths.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed.
Oh, jeez.
So we would do our cool down, have a nice chat, which, by the way, the chats I hated the most. I just feel like there's absolutely no point about talking about the game that you've just spent 3 hours playing right after the game. You haven't even had time to reflect on the game yet.
Correct.
So ideally, you want to allow for time to reflect on how the game has gone before you sit down and you start talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'd get back and there'd be ice baths waiting for us, and just skied high and straight into the hands. And that's going to be the end of Sushant Madani's innings.
Sushant Madani only facing one delivery. Pretty straightforward catch taken by Hizbullah Durrani. Easy as you like, isn't it? Just the most straightforward of catches. And looking to see whether or not you can put yourself in a decent position here. Coming in is Yasir Mohammed. Saw him as a leg spinner earlier, now being asked to do something with the bat.
Got to get Manak Patel on strike. It's as simple as it gets. But yeah, we get back to the hotel, and what we used to do is we'd have 2 adjacent rooms, one with ice bath in the bathtub and then the other one with warm water. Or sometimes it'd be right by the pool, so you'd have a plastic inflatable pool for the ice bath, and then you jump into the regular pool, which is technically a little bit warmer. And you'd do that 3 times, a minute in each. And I hated the ice baths with such a passion. Hated them. And now there's research that suggests they don't even work. So we just did all of that to torture ourselves.
Yeah. All of that for nothing.
But all for, getting the foam rollers out, making sure that you loosen those muscles, get the lactic acid out. But a lot of it is a mental aspect, allowing yourself time to reflect. I know a lot of these meetings, game meetings and whatnot are very popular and overdone, and I'm not really a big fan of them. I don't think you've got to hash everything out in a 2-hour meeting the night before the game. It's just, how many people are actually paying attention through that, There's got to be sense and there's got to be purpose. Done many ice baths?
I've done.
Don't say 0.
Exactly 0 ice baths in my entire life.
0.
0.
Jeez. I don't know how you've managed.
I cannot even imagine the idea of soaking in.
You know what? It's the fingers and the toes that really hurt because you're on ice, and they start to get really sensitive and
Not
burn.
in 100 years would I ever consider doing an ice bath. Just under no circumstances.
We didn't really have much of a choice. You got to understand that too, right?
Yes, yeah. That's the difference between the cricket you played and the cricket I played. We had a lot more say in what happened to us. We didn't have a coaching staff or management staff saying, here, get in that ice bath. Yeah, we didn't have any of that. Oh my goodness.
You know, back in the day, that you just kind of do it. You're in the zone. It's part and parcel of what you do. You don't even think about it. Now, when I think back, I'm like, really, we've done some of these crazy things.
Abhishek Paradkar. Appeal. Gone. So Monank Patel had maybe an outside chance of getting to those triple digits, but falls short. Big outside edge. Abhishek Paradkar finds the outside edge of the USA captain's bat, and the wicketkeeper does the rest. 156 for 7.
They needed him towards the end of this innings, but he's done very well for his side today. Thick outside edge. He just seemed to struggle a little bit with those wide, full deliveries. And unfortunately for him, a very good innings has to come to an end. 19.1 overs gone. It's 156 for 7. Excellent innings by Monank Patel. He struck some lusty blows all around the ground and very calculated in all of his shots. A bit of unorthodox in him as well, but most of them have been fairly orthodox down the ground and in that cow corner area. This, a bit of West Indian style into it before he fell. But an excellent innings comes to an end for Monank Patel. Gone for 84 off 57. He's done his job for his side. Kinjige, new batter out in the middle, with 5 deliveries to go in the innings. Moves across the stumps to be able to reach that wide delivery and off the mark with a single.
Kenjige can help himself with the bat way more than you would think, given the fact that he is known more as a bowler than as a batter. But certainly capable of helping himself. No, I've never done an ice bath. No thanks. I really am good. Closest thing that I've done to an ice bath, I'll say it after this. I did spend about a week in Canada. I'm trying to remember the name of the town. Oshawa.
In Oshawa?
Yes.
Oshawa.
That's where my wife is from.
Oh, boring. But then people would say the same thing about Kitchener, so I get it. Okay.
Yes.
Oshawa. Please tell me you've been downtown Toronto at least. CN Tower,
Not really.
Niagara Falls.
I've seen
Canadian
Niagara Falls,
side.
but from the American side.
No, that doesn't count. Sorry, that's a wide. Well outside the off-stump line, and I'm really surprised Abhishek's got anything to refute this.
Yeah, we are square of the wicket. Even from here, you can see that was wide.
You've got to check out You've got to check out the falls from the Canadian side.
What's the difference?
It's better.
Okay. Yeah, no question. This is wide.
That should have been 2 wides.
Yeah, that's Not sure why he's complaining.
One for that complaint.
Just tack on one just on principle.
Penalty runs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's lost all shape on this. High up in the air, and an easy catch for yet another dismissal. That back leg completely collapsing for Kenjige. All the power gone as soon as that back knee goes down.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That maybe not the best of batting styles on that one. The ball just spooning up into the air. Pretty straightforward catch taken by the fielder on the offside, Faisal Ahmedzai. So the last two balls, 159. For a while there, they looked like they were shaping up for something in the range of 170. Clearly that's no longer a reality, but my goodness. It is the new batter striding to the crease. I think Kanwarjit Singh is coming back for his second innings, so I would imagine there's two number 16s in the side. Take a look at that replay again. Very straightforward catch. Last two balls coming up. Here's Abhishek Paratkar. Went all the way for 6. Tell you what, that's not a bad shot. How would you like to be a new batter and the very first ball that you see, you slam it down the ground for 6?
Might have some future in baseball there.
We're talking about our individual careers is too strong a word, but our individual playing days. I once had a match where I opened the bowling and came into bat, maybe number 6. First ball of the match, wicket. First ball I faced batting, hit it for 6. I don't know that I've ever done that before. In fact, I'm sure I've never done it before, and I don't know very many people who have.
That's what amazes me about that 15-year-old in the IPL.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
But great hand-eye coordination. That's going to be another wicket, though. Run out off the last, should be the last, second last delivery.
Yeah, one more ball remaining, I believe. Up, that's the innings. Okay, that is it. So 159 for 9 is what you end up with. And I will just look at the replay here. Of course, with the last ball, they're running on anything but on the handed throw. That's a good piece of work by the keeper behind the stumps. And it's good work by Zaid Zakil. And you end up with 159, a nice smooth target of 160, Manali Patel.
$160 it is that the Bay Blazers are going to need. As we take a quick look at this bowling card, Faraz Ali, handy 34 off 23 early on. Not much from the opening batters. But it's Manak Patel's 84 off 57, 6 4s and 5 6s. That's been the standout in this innings. A brief partnership as well with Agni Chopra in that. But all in all, it's that innings of 84 off 57 that stands out and gets the Falcons to a decent position with 159 runs on the board. They would still feel, though, they might have missed out on a few runs towards the end of the innings as we take a look at the bowlers.
Yeah, Amir Hamza Hotak, for me, the best of the bowlers. 4 overs, 3 for 27. And there is a little bit of a unorthodox look about that first column with the number of overs and the number of bowlers used. But 2 wickets for Yusuf Zazai. Economy rate under 6, so he also did well. A little bit of excitement towards the back end of the innings, but you end up with a score of 159. So, target of 160 is what they'll be looking for when they come up. Don't know whether or not we'll have highlights, but either way, we'll see in the very next few minutes whether or not this target of 160 can be reached. We'll go silent here in the commentary area for the next 10 or 15 minutes. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, Prairie View Cricket Complex, field number 5, Columbus Falcons against Bay Blazers. Columbus Falcons with 159 runs in their 20 overs. Bay Blazers will be facing up against that man running in away from you as we speak, Ehsan Adil. Opening batters are going to be motivated to take the game to Ehsan Adil and the Columbus Falcons, but it will not be easy. Ehsan Adil, a good bowler, saw him earlier today, and really excels in the opening bursts. Can be very difficult to get away, and we'll see whether or not, and all of us, the revised score appears to be 165. So 165 is the score, 166 is your target. And we will see whether or not that can be reached. Anyway, 166 is the target, 166 from 20. Ehsan Adil into bowl, the very first delivery. And it's cut away. But there's a man down there, deep third. Off the mark. Manali Patel, good afternoon. This is our final spell of the day.
Good afternoon to you as well. It is our final spell of the day as the sun starts to set just in front of us, actually. Just a lot of chatter with that mid-innings. Discussions around the slow over rate from the first innings. Took about 2 hours to finish that first innings, and there is now discussion of potentially adding fielding restrictions when that happens, penalties. And that's partly because I'm not sure what he's looking for there, because I don't think that was a wide at all.
No. Oh.
No, I think just one for the over signaled, if I'm not wrong.
Didn't exactly see the exact signal. Let's see. It's not a no ball. Certainly not a wide. It's not a wide on height or on line, so not exactly sure why that should be anything but a dot. So I have it as a single and a dot. Scorecard has not yet moved, but that's not surprising as we get into the last spell of the day here, Manali Patel. It is going to be Ehsan Adil, and we still are wondering who the two batters are, but we'll get all of that straightened out as soon as we can. Do the Blazers have the opportunity, or do they have the opportunity? Do they have the firepower to be able to overhaul a target of 166 is the question. Ehsan Adil with the stereotypical hard length delivery. Defended into the offside for a single, but that's the type of delivery you'll get from him.
I would love to see a replay of that last run. And the angle I'm looking for is the pitch. Because this is really, typically, you are not looking to go across the pitch when you're running. You want to go in a straight line to the other side. And the non-striker is going to do the same thing on the other side of the stumps. Now see if we can try and get a replay. Maybe not. Something tells me that's going to happen again, though, because it just seemed to be running and making their life a little bit harder. You want to pick the shortest distance to the other side. Oh, this is picked up beautifully. This is massive. It's an absolute mammoth of a shot, and it's going to be the first maximum of this innings.
Wow. Ehsan Adil gets this one a little too full and a little too straight. And it is mowed over mid-wicket for a huge six. Seen a few sixes going that direction. I said a little too straight. Maybe not too straight, but the length is such that the batter could get underneath it. Hizbullah Durrani, and he absolutely sends it in the direction west on Highway 290. Speaking of west, we are facing directly west from here in the commentary area. Just be glad that it is April and not, let's say, August, because it's a pressure cooker in this very seat under those circumstances.
You don't have a hat either, and the sun is now starting to get very head on.
Yes, very much so. I learned the hard way in New Zealand that I can actually burn. I burned in New Zealand, if you can believe it.
Why do you seem surprised about that?
I have gone for the first 58 years of my life without a sunburn. I got one in New Zealand.
They do have a thinner ozone layer there, you know?
This is what I'm understanding now. Oh, good delivery. Good comeback ball from Esanadil, dragging him just a little more outside the line of off stump. Yes, I heard about that. Unfortunately, after my skin started to peel, and that did not go very well.
I'm surprised you didn't know that before.
So the last ball coming up here in over number 1, Esanadil got hit for that big 6, but still keeping his team within range. Love just random sounds in the commentary area, don't you?
It got musical for a while.
Tries to go big, misses out on the shot. So one bad ball from the over, but Esanadil for the most part gets his team off to a good start. 1 over in the books, 8 without loss.
This was a mammoth shot. He just picked it up so well out of the screws and absolutely smashed for 6.
Oh, that is a beautiful shot, isn't it?
He held the pose as well.
Yes, he did. So the target is 166 from what I understand, which means that after the first over, you need another 158 in 114 balls. Current run rate of 8, required rate 8.32. Not in the very least.
You don't golf at all?
I played putt-putt golf.
I find that really surprising.
I've never been interested. It seems like something that would frustrate the living heck out of me if I were to try.
But you seem to have a golf personality.
What in the world is a golf personality?
As in, you just have that aura that, yeah, of course I golf. What do you mean? Kenjige into the attack. This is pushed into the offside for a quick single.
Nash Kenjige, excellent bowler for a very long time. Excellent bowler, excellent fielder.
You actually don't golf?
I have never actually stepped onto almost at a golf pitch, a golf course.
Okay, now I believe you. I don't know what a golf pitch is. That's surprising.
I've been to Top Golf once or twice.
Top Golf, top place. I really enjoyed that the last time I was there. That was actually in Dallas that I went.
Somebody took a replay or took a video of me teeing off and demonstrated to me by the video that my foot was in the air when I played the first shot. You see, I'm not even getting the terminology right. So that should tell you how much golfing is in my life. Cut away fiercely. That was a putt that went all the way for 4. That's the extent of my golfing knowledge right there. A square putt? Can you have a square putt? Is there such a thing?
A square putt? No. Everything's all about alignment in golf. So, maybe we should go golfing.
I prefer to go to NASA.
Straighter this time. Does well to cramp Hezbollah for room. You'd rather go to NASA than golf. That's for something you've never tried. You've got a really strong emotion towards it.
Just seems like it would be frustrating.
It is not an easy sport. I will say that. It is actually a very difficult sport. But
which is exactly why I have enough difficulty with the sports that I know. I don't want to add anything else to it.
It's my goal. Cut away in the gap. This is going to race away for another boundary. Good timing on this. What started as a good over has now bled 2 boundaries with a delivery to come.
Tell you what, The outfield has quickened up a lot. And a couple of proper cut shots that have raced all the way around along the ground and gone for 4.
I think it's because even the outfield was a bit surprised at the slow over rate in the first innings. The outfield's thinking, you know, you've got to wrap this up because I'm going to get watered before tomorrow's game, and at the moment we're about to lose daylight. Swing and a miss. This one keeping a little bit low. End of the second over, 17 for none. So my goal this summer is to actually work on my golf. I'm actually thinking of taking a few lessons. I mean, I am naturally a competitive person, but I don't like being pathetic at any sport. So
Sure.
should be at least somewhat respectable at golf. But then I did see some of the videos from the Masters that just finished. And if professionals can have moments like that, then I don't feel bad at all about some of my moments.
The only golf video that I saw recently is Tiger Woods' car being outside.
That was not a golf video. That was the wrong kind of driving.
Something wrong with his driver on that case?
There was something wrong with his driving. I don't think it was a driver issue. Mind you, it could have been a driver issue.
Well, 2 overs in, 17 runs on the board. So you need 8.3 to win, 8.3 and over. Scoring right now at 8.5. So you're in the range. Interestingly, they have taken off Esandadil after 1 over. So Ritwik Apidi, who bowled well in the first game when he got his line right. Took a few wickets, took 3 wickets if I remember correctly, but more expensive than he would have wanted to have been. Over 10 runs and over. And much of that was because he bowled too straight. Getting the ball in the right areas, on the right lines, and I think he's a much better bowler.
He's going to need to find that line because we've seen Hezbollah strike a really beautiful 6. And that is not Hezbollah, it is Suleiman, but very similar to that shot that we've seen earlier in the innings. 2 straight punished. And he's going to have to learn here, Ritwik.
He's a young man, Ritwik Apidi. Good pace, but the line. Look at this. And it's not a horrible line, and the batter is batting on an off-stump guard. But if he's on an off-stump guard, that requires you being more outside the line of off-stump.
It's about the swinging arc. If you're in the swinging arc, even if it is outside the off-stump line, then you will go for runs.
Something else that he could consider. Going around the wicket and creating the angle going across the right-handed batter. Because both of these opening batters want to hit big on the leg side. And you can negate that to some extent by creating that angle going across the line, going around the wicket. Again, same shot, same result.
This time, he tries to go a little bit fuller. It's just ended up in the slot. Maybe not the slot, a bit shorter than the slot.
Short, but it has to do with the line. If I am his captain or a senior bowler, if I'm Esandadil, I go put my arm around him and I say, try 1 or 2 from around the wicket. Slant it all the way across the batter. Make him drag you from a 5th stump line. But if you're bowling over the wicket, slanting it into the batter, even if it's on off stump, even if it's on 4th stump, that still incentivizes the big shot on the leg side. Catchable, but just out of the reach of a fielder running back from mid-on. That's Manang Patel himself. Mid-off, my apologies. They get a couple more runs. That's a great question. Certainly not Manang Patel. And again, after you've scored 84 from 50 balls, you have the right to request off and not have to keep. Nikhil Mudaliar. Nikhil Mudaliar, 26. A dot, a precious dot. So 2 sixes to start the over, but then a double and a dot. So that's a good comeback. Rhythmica PD, get the ball in the right areas for these last 2 balls.
It's all about learning experience, isn't it, for the youngsters? You've got to give them the liberty to do what they do. You've also got to back them to be able to find their way. And a lot of this is a learning experience. Win or lose, the bigger picture is that learning experience. Down the track, heaved into the leg side. Should just be a single.
Well, you'll take this. The last 3 balls have gone for 3 runs.
It's 26.
It's literally what I told you.
No, you said 24.
I said, told you 26 Nikhil Medallia. I know you heard me say that.
I thought you said, well, I have.
1 ball remaining in over number 3. 32 without loss on the board. And somebody please, you know what, I'll just withdraw that statement. Last ball coming up.
Catch it.
Manang Patel, easy as you like. Look at Manang Patel, point to his young pace bowler and say, thank you for coming back. The first 2 balls of the over went for 6s. The last 4 only went for 3 runs, and he takes a wicket on the last ball. 32 for 1.
Extra bit of zip. Puts this one nice and short. And he was rushed for pace. Hasbulla got in an awful position to be able to play that ball. In the end, safe pair of hands. Doesn't have the gloves on, Manang Patel. But he knows a thing or two about watching the ball into the hands. 3 overs gone, 32 for 1.
Well, this man bowled very well in the first match this morning, Akhtar Shah. Bowled with pace, bowled with hostility, bowled with accuracy. Oh, he has the ability to look at his shoulders. He did evidence lack of pace sometimes, but a couple of the deliveries I'm thinking of were just pacey, moving in off the seam. He had a stretch during the minor leagues this past season where he was bowling a lot of wide balls. And so personally, I love seeing the fact that he has had the control that he's had in this game, or at least on this day. Because when he gets it right, he can be very difficult to score off of.
It's nice to see athletes do well, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes.
So when you're not supporting the West Indies, who do you support?
Oh, I do have lived in this country for the last 44, my goodness. Yeah, 44 years.
USA.
Of course, of course.
So when I'm not supporting my team is in South Africa,
Okay.
so that's the only
Mm-hmm.
It's not South Africa, then my next team is
If you're asking which test side I support other than the West Indies, I think South Africa would be number 2 for me. Oof.
just misses the faint edge that they were looking for.
Look at how stockily built Akhtar Shah is. Look at those shoulders. Just what?
Speaking of which, actually, you were in New Zealand recently.
I was.
You would have seen some really big built people.
Yes. I was bird watching one day, shocker. And I came across on the walk, bird watching, gentleman who used to play rugby for New Zealand. Don't ask me his name because I don't remember, but everybody who was there knew who he was. We had a good little conversation. But yes, we did see a few very large human beings.
So when I was in Australia, it was New Zealand and tour as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at the SCG joint practice. I had no idea that Victoria was actually such a big unit.
Decent size. I don't call him a big unit. Not a big unit.
Trust me.
I mean, Dan Vittori is a regulation guy.
Also like 6'8", okay?
I wish I was 6'8".
From a 5'3" perspective, that's a big unit. Yeah, from a 5'3" perspective, you are a big unit, or you are a small unit. So anything in front of you, you're like, whoa. I mean, anything close to 6 feet, you're like, yeah, that's a big person.
If I remember, Daniel Vittori is around 6'1", which isn't small, but it's not gigantic compared to me. He's maybe an inch taller than me, and I'm sure I outweigh him by 20, 25 pounds.
How
Easily.
tall is Glenn Phillips? He's a unit.
Glenn Phillips is short. Glenn Phillips is about 5'9".
No.
I literally saw him in New Zealand just the other day. He is about 5'9". Don't make me Google it. I'm right. In the meantime, this is an excellent over underway for Akhtar Shah.
No ball, free
oh,
hit.
no, missed the no. I missed the no ball.
Because you're Googling Glenn Phillips.
Googling Glenn Phillips' height. Now, if I'm Akhtar Shah with the shoulders that he has, I'm running in and I'm bowling the best bouncer I can bowl here. I would make him hit my best bouncer. If he hits it for 6, he hits it for 6. But you're going to get a good bouncer from me right here.
Very nearly was a wide. Instead, it's just going to be a single. You say you're going bouncer, but your former captain said you barely managed to get the ball to rise.
Because I told you earlier, I'm a very, very nice guy. I don't like hurting people.
Oh, well, on the field, it's part of the game.
Certainly part of the game.
Chin music.
Chin music, yes. It's all part of the game. I didn't like hurting people. And, I'm a nice, smiling guy. So if I know that I can bowl a bouncer that will hurt you, I try to stay away from it for the most part. But every once in a while, I'd get the edge and I'd bowl one of them.
My third game ever, I was bounced into the shoulder by a West Indian guy.
You were playing in a men's game?
Most of my cricket was men's cricket, actually. Just played very little women's cricket.
And he bowled a bouncer to you?
My third game ever.
Wow.
And then I was obviously down.
Sure.
And they tried to run me out. And I was like, guys, really? Like, I'm on the ground.
They tried to run you out.
I'm still in my crease, but really? You see, that's where sportsmanship gets a bit blurry.
Wow.
That is one game I was happy to get out.
I was about to say.
I would have gone home with a broken bone.
Wow. What an over. Excellent over. Just 4 runs coming from it. Despite the no ball, despite the free hit, still only 4 runs conceded. Good first over for Akhtar Shah.
So these are the moments that define you over time. My biggest motivation was not getting hurt. Very steep learning curve. Love the club mates that I had.
Sure.
So they just kind of accept you for who you are, and that's what you want. But that also means that you go home with some awesome shiners at the end of practice. So it's like, okay, either I learn quickly or I go home dead.
About the worst that I've ever been hit was in practice. In Austin, of all places, facing up. I'm assuming you likely know the name Usman Shuja. Heard that name? For a while was the leading bowler in U.S. cricket history. We played for the same club and it was a pleasure to be in games as opposed to being in practice. That is a lovely looking shot. Oh, proper cricket shot from Suleiman Arabzai, goes away for 4.
Class. Absolute class on this one.
Ugh.
Picked up gloriously for a couple bounces 4 over the rope.
Wow. Brilliant stuff.
Was it in the crown jewels you got hit?
No.
Oh.
I have been hit in the crown jewels or in the middle stump just once.
Middle stump.
In the middle stump.
Oh,
I was down for the count.
really?
Down for the count.
Men are so weak sometimes, honestly.
Are you serious? You know what? Let me just, this conversation could go south very, very quickly.
You know what really hurts though? Getting hit on the toe. On your big toe.
100%, because there's no protection there.
I have lost my big toenail twice
Wow.
to a Yorker.
I was about to say I can't tell you. Clearly, you and I have had the same experience. Getting hit on the toe from a Yorker on 80, 85 miles an hour, there is no worse pain in cricket. Lovely looking shot. Won't get to the boundary this time. Hassan Adil is there to prevent any more damage. Just getting 1. Excellent stuff from the big man. Did you always wear a helmet when you batted?
Yeah, that was my mom's number 1 rule when I took on cricket. She said if you ever bat without helmet, even during throwdowns, that'll be your last day playing cricket. And I agree with her. I mean, it's a safety thing. You've got to make sure that your head's protected. Mm-hmm. Just looking at what happened to Ben Stokes recently as well, and he said, that's it, I've learned my lesson. I will not bat without a helmet again.
Unfortunately, Phil Hughes.
And then there was a recent one too, wasn't it? 11-year-old boy, unfortunately, in the nets.
I saw the headline and I never read the story because that would just be too devastating to read. I did not read that story.
Well, that's the reality. I mean, we do play a sport that is dangerous. Mm-hmm. So just taking precaution is, at least then you can't look back and say, you know what, I wish I had done that. Mm-hmm. But then you've also got the likes of Mark Boucher, who had a helmet on, and that Bale still managed to squeeze through the grill.
He wasn't wearing a helmet. I thought he wasn't wearing a helmet.
Oh, he had a helmet on there.
Interesting.
Pretty sure he had a helmet on.
I'd want to look at that. I believe.
Now you're making me question my
I'm gonna say
my
he wasn't
understanding
wearing
of
a helmet.
this. I thought it squeezed through his grill.
How about we look it up and then we give the answer on air tomorrow, which one of us was right and who was wrong. 124 runs needed from the last 91 balls. We get real-time response here.
Oh, he was not.
So that was right, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Big hit. Where's it gone? It has gone out of the park for yet another 6. Last ball of the over disappears over deep mid wicket for the 4th 6 of the innings. End of the over, 48 for 1.
Now I know why I thought he was wearing a helmet, because he was actually keeping up. So, no, he wasn't wearing a helmet. And now when he looks back, he has lost vision in one eye, right? So, precaution. But this is out of the screws for another maximum, and they're keeping on track with this required rate.
So if I'm not mistaken, I just won that argument, hands down.
It was not an argument. It was a conversation. Why is everything so aggressive with you? I'm so nice. I don't hurt anyone on the field. Says Brian.
You just sledge them.
Oh, I do. I've said some awful things on the field. Tell you, I still have girls who will not talk to me after all these years.
You did mention that.
But they never got to know the best me. So that's their loss.
Last over of the power play coming up.
Now, you know what? I think it's just the personality thing, isn't it? It's not up and over, cut away beautifully. This is going to be 4 more.
That time the pace working against Akhtar Shah. Essentially, it's a top edge, but it flies away over the slip cordon and deep third, not in position. There's a deep sweeper. But geez, just a little too wide. Can't bowl that width with that field. So you get punished for it. First ball of over number 6 goes away for 4.
Going at over 10 runs and over. That's a poor delivery. Very, very poor delivery. It's a hit me delivery. Short, wide, no real pace on it. And smacked away for 4.
Yeah, 3 words there. Short, wide, 4. That ball has to be way closer to the line of off stump. No risk whatsoever. And with nobody sweeping on the offside, that just meat and drinks for any batter worth his salt. So Akhtar Shah will need to find that ball more on the line of off stump. Earlier I said about the fact that in the season last year he had some trouble bowling a little too wide. I think it's just crept back into his game here. Just regained the discipline that he had in the first over in this match and in his entire spell in the previous match. It's a little bit better. Concede a single, nothing wrong with conceding a single. But they're scoring right now at the rate of 10.36 and over. The Bay Blazers. At the end of over number 5, the Columbus Falcons were 31 for 3. And 48 runs is what the Bay Blazers had at the similar point in time. So they're certainly ahead from that standpoint. And so the Columbus Falcons have some work to do to pull things back. Spare going well. Sulman 30 from 16, Tish 11 from 8. Good couple of singles after those 2 fours though. So that's a good comeback from Akhtar Shah. Oh my goodness. There can be worse things than being at a cricket field in the middle of a week, a work week no less.
100%. We are definitely blessed to be doing something that we enjoy.
Goodness, yes. Ooh, good pickup. So I'll tell you what. First 2 balls, I think Akhtar Shah will agree, were poor. The last 3, he's conceded 3 singles. So pulling things back in the way that he needs to. He needs to close out strongly here, though. That is a good close to the over. So very expensive for the first 2, but the next 4 only cost him 3 runs. Excellent stuff from the young tearaway pacer. 11 coming from over number 6. That's the end of the power play. 45 for 3 is where the Columbus Falcons were when they batted. Bay Blazers ahead of the game, 59 for 1. So, Essanadil bowl the first over. Coming back into the attack here out of the power play. Essanadil with a very specific length run-up. I believe it's like 33 yards. He always marks it off with a tape measure. More protection in the deep now. So there's a sweeper on the offside. And you do have the opportunity here to try to pull yourself back into the game. First 6 overs definitely going the way of the Bay Blazers. Columbus Falcons, I think, will agree that too many loose deliveries. 4 fours, make that 5 fours and 4 sixes in the power play. So they will want to clean up those hit me balls. Another 106 runs needed in the next 83 balls, needing to score at the rate of 7.66 and over, which is not challenging at all. Good start here though by Essanadil. Just a couple of singles, start over number 7. Every once in a while, I will listen to a talk show, sports talk show. And the sentiment on the talk show is that the show off the air is always better than the show on the air. I think I could probably say the same thing with this place.
That's because you don't have to filter what you're saying off air. That's a biggie. It's gone all the way for 6. Staying in the chase here. 99 required off 81. And Essanadil under the pump. First over, a bit expensive. This second one now going for 8 runs with this maximum. It's picked up beautifully. Short arm jab as well.
I'll tell you what, the best thing about that shot is that it's very little flourish. He didn't try to overhit it. Just essentially an elevated off drive or an elevated straight drive that goes all the way for 6. So you want to see that. You don't want to see them try to overhit the ball. In this pair, not surprising that Nitish Kumar is one who is now on strike, but who has looked very good, 19 from 11. Suleiman, 32 from 19. Excellent stuff from this pair. The partnership now worth 29. Oh, make that 35 is what the partnership is worth. You want to make sure that you keep doing that because to whatever extent necessary, you want to keep pushing toward victory. You don't want to lose any wickets here. Symbolically, that last 6 was important because it brought the deficit under 100.
Such a mental
hurdle.
No, once you pass that under 100 required, mentally you just feel like, okay, we're getting closer and closer, and that 3-digit number makes a very big difference. You're not chasing 3 digits, you're chasing 2. Off the hips, into the leg side. And a couple runs picked up.
I'm always going to play the comparison game because it's always good to see where the team was in the first innings versus this innings.
This is why they say you shouldn't compare your kids.
That is the worst analogy I've ever heard in my life. One has nothing to do with the other. As I was saying with the comparison game, end of over number 7, Columbus Falcons had 48 for 3. Appeal for a catch and gone. Essanadil comes back and he gets Nitish Kumar.
I told you not to compare them. Big wicket this, Nitish Kumar, going well at 21 until he tried to flash outside that off-stump line. Essanadil finally picks up a wicket. And it's 69 for 2.
That is USA player versus former USA player. Current USA player gets the benefit of that exchange, or gets the better of that exchange, I should say. So 1 ball remaining here in over number 7. And despite the protestations of the person to my right, in fact, it appears as though they'll take the water break. They're doing that right now. So now's a good time to look at the comparison. End of over number 7 in the first innings. The Columbus Falcons had 48 for 3. Bay Blazers, despite having lost that wicket, are now 69 for 2. And so from that standpoint, you could argue that they're very much ahead of the game. Sulaiman Arabzai, 32 from 19. The new batter at the crease. He's waiting to take strike. And if he were to turn around, we'd see his jersey number. We could tell you who he is. It's a USA conversation happening there. Esanadil, who again is a really good bowler. The reason I mentioned his run-up earlier is because this match is already going on 3 hours old. And we are not even at the 8-over mark yet. So the more pace bowlers bowl, the more this game extends, the more that sun keeps going down in the west, and the more difficult it will be for the fielders on this side of the field. Worked into the leg side, the very first ball. That is Zaid Zakil, who is the batter, the new batter. Off the mark immediately, he will retain strike. 11 coming from that over, but importantly, the big wicket of Nitish Kumar. End of over number 770 for 2. Leggy, Yasir Mohammed. Yasir Mohammed is now into the attack, and even though our scorecard says it's Zaid Zakil as on strike, it's actually Saideep, supposedly Saideep Ganesh. Make sure that that's accurate. But regardless, first ball of over number 8 goes for a single. Not surprising, you bring your leg spinner on outside of the power play. 2 righties at the crease.
Just feel though the Falcons, to keep themselves in this game, they've got to pick up at least 2 to 3 more wickets. Because at the moment, this momentum is going the Blazers' way. Well bowled. Gotta get back. Gotta get back.
It's a great delivery, isn't it? Spinning past the outside edge. Little keeper with his hand over his face. Nikhil Mudaliar. The line being bowled here by Yasir Mohammed is a good one. Staying outside that line of off stump. We've seen a number of reverse sweeps, and we've talked about that ad nauseum today. I would not be surprised if after a couple more balls that you see a reverse sweep. Because in fact, that occasion, that was the googly. That one didn't turn the regulation leg break, actually turned into the right-hander. So Yasir Mohammed opened up his full bag of tricks here. Outside edge again.
I don't think they'll mind this much.
Oh, not at all.
3 runs, pretty tidy over so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see exactly how he closes out here.
Oh, that's a biggie. That has been picked up and dispatched right into the comm box that we're in. That's the maximum.
Well, that thud that you may have heard on your screens was the ball slamming into the top of the media center. So 5 balls conceding 3 runs, but the 6th ball goes for half a dozen. Look at this. Oh, that was a drag down, wasn't it? Tried a quicker ball, but didn't get it anywhere near the length that he needed to get it. And bang, right there. We are in the media center, and that's exactly where the ball just landed. So big 6 to close things out. Over number 8 is done and dusted. 7-9 for 2. Nadil back into the attack. Oh, lovely looking shot there, just for single though. Protection in the deep. Not often that you see Manang Patel fielding down at long off. Look at this again. Try the quicker ball, a drag down, and hammered. Absolutely hammered, landing on top of the media center.
I just want to know if this glass is break-proof.
I had the same thought a few overs ago.
Just, good to know. Good to know whether we should be hiding or whether we should be...
I would hate to have to test that theory.
Well, you could test it. I'll wait outside.
This one is slapped down to mid-wicket for a single. So there have been too many hit me balls. I said that earlier. 5 4s, 6 6s. So that is 69% of the runs that have been scored in this innings have been scored in 4s and 6s. And that to me is just too high a percentage of big hits to be giving up. Going along at the rate of 9.72 and over. So those are worrying signs for the Columbus Falcons. Have to break this partnership first of all. Now worth 49. And then just wanting to find some kind of way to pull the game back within reach.
Misses out on that one. Bit of extra pace, extra bounce as well.
That's in the deal to his 3rd over. 1 wicket. Took that wicket in his 2nd over. Previous over that he bowled here. And now he's going to be looking to see how he can possibly get into the lower middle order. You want to break this partnership. In fact, my apologies. I said earlier the partnership was worth 49. That's not accurate. I'll get you an exact number for that in a second.
Well fielded. It's just going to be single. Been so good at throwing the bat at the ball. Mm-hmm. The Blazers.
So this is how far off I was. The partnership is not worth 49. It's worth 12. Oh, so close. You need the 3rd umpire to figure that one out.
You didn't even land on the field.
It did not land on the field. It wasn't in the same zip code. Oh my goodness.
Swing and a miss, kept a little low.
Last ball over number 9 coming up, as I clearly need to reset my the parameters on my program here. Into the last 6 to 7 balls of this innings. 84 runs needed. 84 needed from those last 6 to 7 balls at the rate of 7.52. That's your requirement. talking about needing symmetry. If this next ball is a single, then they'll be at the exact halfway stage. 83 runs needed, and the score would be 83. So I'm rooting for a single here. Well, didn't happen. It is a dot, but we're still in the game. A single to lead off the next over, and then we'd be in the game. End of 9, 82 for 2.
Pulled away.
Do we have one? Do we have one? We do have one. The score, ladies and gentlemen, is 83. Required runs, 83.
Is that why you were so excited
That's
about this?
That's exactly why I was excited about that.
I was like, what are you going on about
like
here?
little pieces of symmetry like that.
Picked up well, not well enough. Oh, it's been put down.
Very catchable indeed. Sushant Madani, I believe that's Sushant Madani, not exactly sure, but that fielder would have not needed to have taken this. Got to him chest height. Yes, he's sliding, but that's a very, very catchable ball.
If you're the Falcons and you're looking at their current run rate compared to their required run rate, you've got problems. You know you need to try and pick up a wicket, and the wicket of that man on strike at the moment would be perfect. Skied miles in the air, and it's been spilled, and that's gonna run away for 4. I don't know if that is 4 or not. I think that's gonna take another look. Yeah, umpire has signaled it as a 4, in fact.
Yeah, this just really has to be taken. Consecutive drops. This is in the air for a long time with a fielder running around, has more than enough room, and boy, I think it was slightly misjudged too, because he ended up having to dive at the very end of that. Had he judged it to perfection, then he would have been in position to take that catch. So, the wheels are falling off in the field here for the Columbus Falcons. And with 2 balls remaining before you're at the halfway stage of the innings, you only need another 77 runs for victory. So, Yasser Mohammed creating chances but not being backed up in the field. So it's going to look like a much worse over on paper than it actually ended up being. Saideep Ganesh is what the scorecard says. 7 from 9. Suleiman Arabzai 46 from 28. Dot ball closes things out here in over number 10. That is the end of the over. That reaction there that you just saw from Yasser Mohammed looks to me like frustration, because he knows he could have had at least 1 wicket in that last over. End of 10, 90 for 2.
Halfway point in the innings, as the Blazers continue to make fairly easy work of this. And if the Blazers do come out on top of this contest, the Falcons, as we mentioned in that first innings, will look back at their last 3 to 4 overs, where they should have been able to get to at least 170. Lost the wicket of Monang Patel and had no firepower after that. And that would have been a missed opportunity if they don't manage to seal this game in their favor.
Going back to Akhtar Shah. Overs 4 and 6. Over number 4 went for 4 runs. Over number 6 went for 11 runs. A little bit more expensive, but he started out that over with 2 very loose deliveries. Both put away for 4, but then only 3 runs make that the rest of the way. So he'll want this over to look more like the last 4 balls of the last over that he bowled. As you get into over number 11, Akhtar Shah switching ends, coming from the forest end, which is the northern end of the ground here in Prairie View. Slammed, and it goes all the way for 6. Well, the answer to the question that you just asked me off the air is, I would imagine, the latter.
Down to 70 needed. This is slapped down the ground with a lot of authority. Akhtar Shah will be a little frustrated with that. Suleiman has done very well in targeting down the ground and into the leg side. He's also brought up his half century with that maximum. 52 off just 29 deliveries. Tries to go again. Surely this is not going to make it into the fielder's hand. It's going to go all the way for 6. I thought there might have been a chance because of the elevation that it got. Back-to-back 6s.
Boy, he's just standing like a baseball batter, opening himself up all the way and just swinging like he was aiming for left center field in baseball. These are all, nothing necessarily elegant about these shots, but this is just all raw power. And the way, when I said nothing elegant about it, that's not a negative. I mean, he's not trying to be elegant. He's not trying to be aesthetically attractive. He's trying to hit big, and he's succeeding. 58 from 30 now.
And that's exactly what it's about. Score the runs. You don't have to look pretty when you do them.
For a pretty 13 or an ugly 50?
I wish more coaches would understand that.
Yep. 100 up with that last 6, by the way. Oh, that's sloppy. Very, very sloppy. Sherrod Lumber will want to have done better than that. So you're at the stage of the innings where, boy, it's just starting to feel like the Columbus Falcons mentally and body language-wise seem to have given up.
It is also their second game in the day. They played the first game, and now they're playing the last game of the day. So that is a very long day at the ground.
Yes. Delivery zips through.
I'm just looking at the schedule as well for tomorrow. They do get a day off tomorrow, which I think they've earned, playing 2 games today.
Yep.
So they're going to look forward to that rest tomorrow. Baltimore Royals, on the other hand, who've played 2 games today, actually get the afternoon game tomorrow. So they're going 3 games in 2 days. Make that 4 games in 4 days. And that's going to test their players. We've already seen one of their players struggling with his leg. And fitness will be tested.
Well, it feels as though this one is, if not quite a fait accompli, at least feeling like it will be going in that direction. Akhtar Shah bowling with hostility, but he's been taken apart. First 2 balls of this over and the first 2 balls of the previous over that he bowled, those 4 deliveries went for 20 runs between them. And so the rest of the time, no matter how good you are with the remaining 4 balls, you're always on the back foot, having conceded that many runs in the first 2 balls of each over. Shadows are now getting much, much longer. The entire outfield is in the shadows behind the clouds. But it's just starting to get a little bit more gloomy, a little bit more dark.
I'm not sure how he's missed that. Played completely over it. A dot to end the 11th over, 104 for 2. And just looking through the window at the back, I've just seen Pupadu Dasanaike, coach of USA at the moment, walking in to have a look at some of this action.
This can be almost like an audition for some players. For others, it can be confirmation that you're in the selection, or you're in the group of potential selectees for a reason. But Pubudu Dasanaike is always somebody who is around here in the Houston area. Obviously, a lot of cricket played in Prairie View, and he typically drops by to check out the activity on some of these players. Not a bad thing to see the head coach of the U.S. cricket team doing exactly that here.
This is up in the air. Fielder getting under it. And it's going to land in no man's land.
Yeah, that was nowhere near danger. Landing very safely right around the 30-yard circle, but long on and long off. I think the long off is back on the rope, and then mid on was too wide, so not able to get around in time. Yasser Mohammed bowling well. See where this ball lands. Back to live action. Oh, that short arm jab. He plays that shot so well. And it goes away for yet another 6 in that area. 6, number 9 for the day. It's just the margin, the matter of 55 runs needed for victory here. Another drag down for Yasser Mohammed. The score is now 111. Are you a big Nelson fan? Means nothing at all to you.
Means absolutely nothing to me. I hear about it all the time, and I'm like, come on, it's just numbers. Can we just continue on? See, what Nelson?
I have played with and against people whose feet would not in any way be on the ground if the score was 111 or 222 or so on.
Isn't it amazing how we allow ourselves to get so mentally frustrated by a number, and then we blame the number?
True.
Teeing off.
Oh, where's that gone?
That is a proper tee off for 4 down the ground.
And that reduces the deficit to exactly 50.
You do know what I mean when I say teed off.
Of course. No,
Okay.
that's golf.
Well, just testing you because you were looking for a square drive or the other. I'm just not sure.
Square putt.
Yeah, that's right. Square putt.
Oh, goodness. Duke deep backward square. Does it clean up work here?
Oh, we really should go golfing.
We really shouldn't.
I think you should totally try it.
I'll drop you off at Top Golf.
You would definitely do Top Golf, if not golf.
Let's see. Maybe you might be able to talk me into that.
117 for 2.
One more remaining.
With 49 of 49 needed. A run a ball gets them over the line here. Bay Blazers have been outstanding in the second innings. This was his last over. 2 overs, actually. Leg side, down the ground, really favored those 2 areas. Not much on the offside, but every time he's been able to connect, it's been either a 6 or a boundary. Just really good hand-eye coordination.
It does look like that's the end of the over, isn't it? So the scorecard. 118 for 2 is what we have as a scorecard. That didn't go where he was looking to play it, but it goes away for 4 anyway.
And That's what happens when you've got Nelson on your side. The luck is on your side, and it doesn't matter how thick that edge is. When your team is on top, it's that momentum that we talk about.
By the way, this time I can confidently state that is the 50-run partnership. 53 is what it's worth. Slicing it away that time over the top of Akhtar Shah. And this is really devastating stuff from the Bay Blazers. Suleiman Arabzai 67 from 35. Sadiq Ganesh 18 from 16.
Shot. In the gap.
Nobody out there racing away for yet another 4. They're looking to make up this deficit in a hurry. Just another 40. I would not mind 7 6s in the next 7 balls.
Everything at the moment is out of the screws for these two.
Yep.
Finding the middle of the bat, finding the gaps. And not too many chances given. We've seen the 2 drop catches. They were tough chances, mind you. But apart from those 2, everything's been fairly crisp and controlled.
Oh, good work, Yasser Mohammed. I like to see the effort in the deep. Oh, it results in an overthrow. So you're rooting for that foot to have been on the line, is what you're saying. Well, 4-4-2 to start over number 13. So looks like the Bay Blazers are not only looking to take victory here, but they're looking to help themselves out in the net run rate column. Sliced away. That is going to be 4 more. If they keep doing this, they'll definitely help themselves out in the run rate column. Just another 34 needed now with 44 balls remaining.
Racing away at the moment. It's a runaway train. The odd one through the offside going for a boundary.
Partnership now worth 63. Sadiq Ganesh joining in on the fun, 28 from 19. Suleiman Arabzai 67 from 35 at the striker's end. Replay again, just a little bit too wide with that one, and then that's powered into the deep, and then that last one just again short and wide. So the 3-4s already in the over. 14 runs already have been scored in over number 13 with another 2 still to come. Cut away again over the top of the field at backward point. Another couple runs, it would seem. Yep.
Just want to see if we can have a look at where he's standing in the crease, because it looks like he's fairly deep in that crease to be able to create that extra bit of length that he needs. Everything that he's played, he's favored the shorter deliveries to be able to pull and cut them away. And unfortunately for the Falcons, they've completely fallen in that trap. They've continued to bowl back of length and short to him.
Tukapidi will have better days with the ball than he's having today. Very expensive. 1 for 43. Oh. Nash Kenji get down the ground. Does the cleanup work, but yet another expensive over. 17 come from it. End up over number 13. The score is 135 for 2. Nashkenjige. Too little, too late, perhaps. One of the best bowlers in the history of all USA cricket. But he's being asked to do something very difficult here. Just 31 runs needed from the next 42 balls. And 2 well-set batters.
A single to start the over. And with that, they need just 30 more runs from here on.
5 big ones. 5 big ones, that's all we ask. Not necessarily off of Nash, because I like him. Plus, he blew me a kiss down here.
Now I've got to ask who you're okay with being hit.
Okay, 1 each from the next 5 bowlers. How about that?
Very diplomatic.
I'm nothing if not a politician.
I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it.
Nashkenjige, long-time servant of USA cricket.
It's a decent start. Just the 1 run so far. He's bowling a tight line.
Mm-hmm. Seems to have downshifted here, Suleiman Arbzai.
Well, I think the plan is now to just kind of see this over off. They've definitely decided that he's a bit of a threat and they don't want to lose a wicket at this point. Never mind. Down the track, and should be a couple runs at least. Oh dear.
He did look to come dancing down the track, didn't he? So just another 28 from the next 37 balls. Nashkenjige with 1 more over left in this, his second over. This pair came together when the score was 69 for 2. They've now put on 69 runs. More symmetry that I'm looking for. And that's just spoiled it now. So, single to close things out here in over number 14 and a 14, 139 for 2.
I had no idea you were a math nerd.
I'm all about the numbers. All about the numbers. Suleiman Arbzai has batted really, really well. Been very aggressive. Favored the area on the leg side, but equally scoring heavily on the offside. And you don't want to be too straight. You saw that reaction. And even though he missed hit a couple of them, but just for the most part, just slamming the ball. Look how he opens himself up and just makes sure that he gets full leverage on those big shots down the ground, and particularly in that area, in that arc between long on and mid wicket, scored heavily in that range. 40 balls faced, strike rate of 175. He has 70 runs against his name. Akhtar Shah coming back in now. This is his last over. Looking to see whether or not he can recreate some of the magic. If he were to take away the first 2 balls of each of the last 2 overs, his numbers, his figures actually look very good. But when the first 2 go for 6, and the over before that, the first 2 went for 4, that does tend to have a very negative effect on your bowling figures. This is his last over number 15 coming up. Because of course.
It just looked like he got started and then he just kind of ran out of steam in that run up. Changed my mind. I'm going to try that one again.
Required rate 4.5. You and I can go up there, score 4.5 runs and over, I think.
Not anymore.
Oh, lovely looking shot for a single down the ground.
When was the last time you batted?
Oh, jeez. Maybe it was a benefit match that we had for a friend of ours, a teammate of ours here in Houston. He had some health issues and he passed away, but we had a benefit match for him. This was probably 2016. And if I remember correctly, 48 from 30 balls, 2 4s, 4 6s, best batter of the match.
When?
I just said 2016.
2016.
Yes, so about 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago.
I have not batted in 10 years, no.
And you think you can go and chase us down? You haven't batted in 10 years.
I have not batted in 10 years. Running between the wickets. Let's see. Can I go with the runner?
I don't even think that's allowed anymore.
Dang. Okay, maybe not. The worm
That's
there
how
tells
long
us
it's been since you batted.
I have not batted in 10 years.
No, as in that's how long it's been that you've batted where runners aren't even allowed.
Oh, the last time I batted, the runners were well and truly still in vogue. No, I understand why they're no longer allowing runners. Ooh, looking to elevate that one over the top. But sometimes we used to have players in the league in Austin bat first, come out to bat with a runner, and then come in, open the bowling off the long run. that happened on more than one occasion.
Absolutely ridiculous.
You know what? I don't feel like running.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Uh,
And then we wonder why we got rid of runners.
yeah. Let's just say that was being taken advantage of. On the leg side. Ooh, run out opportunity. Direct hits.
Oh, and he's nearly taken all stumps with him. A trip. Yeah, it's been about 7 years since I played a game, so I don't.
Okay.
I think you've got a lot of confidence in this.
So you do have confidence that you could do it.
No, that was sarcasm.
Oh, that was sarcasm. Apologies. I mean, it's been a long day. I don't even recognize sarcasm anymore. That's how long it's been.
Oh, wow.
Sadeep Ganesh, 32 from 25. Suleiman Arabzai, 71 from 41. Just a matter of 26 more runs to get. In fairness, this is a great last over for Akhtar Shah.
Oh, but how good is that shot? Opens the face and just places it in the gap. Let's just run away for 4 runs.
I will say that I took my eye off of that and actually missed the shot. But let's look at the replay. Oh, stunning. And the body language tells you everything you need to know right there. That is an absolutely brilliant shot.
It ruins a good over, too.
It does. There's just one ball remaining in his over, in his spell. Close out with a bang here. Give yourself a motivation to come back strong tomorrow.
Should be no ball. And it is a no ball. So a free hit given, just slipping out of the hands of Akhtar Shah.
We tried the back of the hand slower delivery, but that one easily is that the other one we had a disagreement as to whether or not it was a no ball. This one I think comfortably is a no ball.
I would have been right on that one. Just like the middle and leg LBW call.
Okay, middle of the leg. Okay, you got that one. I'll give that one to you.
Shot.
Oh.
Absolutely beautifully struck this.
Oh.
This is some clean hitting that we've seen today. Effortless.
Absolutely effortless, and that spoils an excellent last over for Akhtar Shah. Look at this, just holding the pose. Oh, brilliant. Just going down the ground. That is such a clean strike. Going all the way for 6.
Nearly
15 runs away from victory here.
Nearly took the fielder out as well as that bounced off the fence. 15 overs gone, 152 for 2, just 14 more to go.
Take a look at this again. Look at that down the ground. And let's see, taking out the fielder as you mentioned. Oh, ricochet. That ricochet off of the fence can be sometimes very tricky.
That's right, something you train for.
Nah, no, not exactly.
You train for the other direction, not really, something coming back at you off the field.
Exactly. So, Shreyans Kolepaka will be coming in to bowl his off breaks with just 14 runs remaining. 14 runs needed from the last 30 balls. You would think that this would not go another 30 balls. In fact, I said off breaks. It's actually a leg break bowler. So starting out with a single here. Are there any milestones within reach? No. There's an outside chance for Sadeep Ganesh to get to 50, but I don't think they'll be thinking about that.
There is the milestone of the win.
Well, there is that one. That one's pretty much in the bag, you would think, though, right? You would think.
Never say never. It's not over until the lady sings.
I was trying to think of a way to clean that up. I'm glad you did.
Poor delivery. Should just be a single, though.
Well, Shreyans Kolepaka is not one of your frontline bowlers, so the fact that he's been introduced into the attack in over number 16 tells me that essentially they've, as they say, pulled up stumps, because this one is all over but the shouting.
Up and over through the offside and will not find the boundary. So far, pretty decent over for the youngin.
Oh, sure. No question. And look, you don't necessarily control when you bowl, but the idea is when you have the ball in your hand, you do your best to get the ball in the areas that you need to get them in. Quicker delivery. And we are limping toward the finish line here. Just 10 runs needed from the last 25 balls of the match. Is that a catch?
I think it is. Picked up a wicket, brought into the attack.
Absolutely brilliant. For Shreyans Kolepaka, played into the offside. Sharad Lumba, the captain himself, takes a wicket. And how about that? The youngster comes into the attack, only concedes 4 runs, and takes a wicket in his first over. That is the end of over number 16, 156 for 3.
You know what he's thinking, right?
You should
have
have
brought me on earlier. When we still had a chance.
Exactly.
Excellent catch, though. Diving forward. And finally, a breakthrough. Still not the one that they really needed in Suleiman. But a wicket's a wicket.
Wicket is a wicket. You break the big partnership. Partnership worth 87. 3 big partnerships. Well, maybe 3. One medium-sized partnership and then a couple of big ones. 32 from for the first wicket. Medium-sized, maybe. 37 for the second, and then the big one, 87 for the third. What essentially ended up being a wicket-taking or wicket-breaking spell. I think that you'll find evidence, Manada Patel, that the current situation is one that you want to get on top of. What I mean by that is, yes, you've done well. You've put yourself in a position to win this game. But let's not take our foot off the gas. Let's make sure that we continue playing attacking cricket. It's taken on the feel of a practice match in the last several overs. And that's what you're trying to avoid. By the way, that shot tells you everything you need to know. We're looking at the sun about, I'd say, 5 degrees above the horizon, which tells you how dark and how late it's getting here.
Twilight zone.
Twilight zone. Nush Kenjige back into the attack. And a dot ball to start over number 17.
They've just managed to pull a bit of momentum back between the last over that Kinjige bowled and then the last over where the wicket was gone. And you feel it's just a bit too late for the Falcons. Just don't feel that they've bowled in the right areas today.
Yeah, just, again, too many loose deliveries. 11 fours, 10 sixes to me just says a lot of loose deliveries. And of course, some of that goes to the credit of the batters, particularly Suleiman Arabzai, who's now up to 80 from 48 balls faced. The deficit limping now down to 9. And a small matter of 21 more balls that you need to get through.
Well put.
The question to be asked is which happens first? 9 runs or 21 balls? Interesting. Nosh Kinjige almost seemed like he bowled a wrist spinner there. And we're still in the process of limping along. 2 fours is all we need, Manal Patel. Can we please hit 2 fours, even if it's off Nosh Kinjige, and pull stumps?
That's what it's come down to now.
That's what it's come down to, where it's time.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Not gonna be 2 fours.
No, it is gonna be a single though.
Oh my goodness. Okay, at least make things interesting. This last ball, hit a 6, scores level, and the next run, next over wins the game.
3:45. I bet you this game's gonna finish at about 7:35.
So 4-hour game in other words.
Yeah. Oh,
Huge
teed off.
hits. How far has this gone?
Oh.
Balls in the dirt and sticks. That is emblematic of this entire day. 4 runs coming from the over, believe it or not, and a small matter of 6 runs needed to win.
Six needed off 18 deliveries. Manak Patel, 84 off 57. He would have thought that they might have had enough, but just didn't use those last 3 to 4 overs well enough. The Falcons and the Blazers have come out blazing from ball number 1. And an innings to match that of Manak Patel by Suleiman. 81 off 49. Just has to get... Oh my dear Lord. That was quite the delivery, and it is going to find... No, it's not going to find the boundary. That was...
Interesting.
Was that an attempted bouncer?
You do what you need to try to do.
By a leggy.
Well, every once in a while. I remember Shane Warren bowled a couple of bouncers in his career.
Afridi.
Huh?
Afridi.
Afridi is basically a pace bowler who bowls from a short run here.
What time do you normally eat dinner?
Right around this time.
I'm about 2 hours behind schedule then.
Solidly in defense, test match style. Look how dark it is. It is 7:30 local time. This game has been going on. A reverse sweep. This will be the end of the game. Goes all the way for 4, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is how you play the reverse sweep.
That is how you play the reverse sweep after 35 unsuccessful attempts throughout the day. The Bay Blazers take victory by the margin of 7 wickets.
Well, they do deserve this win, the Blazers. They have come out in emphatic fashion from the time that they started. 87 off 51 for Silliman. A couple of handy partnerships in that as well. And they win this game by 7 wickets. As we take a quick look, Nitish Kumar 21 off 13, Saidip Ganesh 39 off 30. But a very good knock by Sulaiman Arabzai.
87 from 51 is what he had. For the bowlers, think the best of them, Nashkenjige. 3 overs, none for 17. But look at those double-digit economy rates toward the right side of your screen. Just means that the bowlers just didn't come to the party. At least most of them did not. And Rithvika PD in particular took a wicket, but the highest economy rate of the bowling unit. And so they'll have some cleanup work to do here at the Columbus Falcons. But it all amounts to the Bay Blazers taking victory in very convincing fashion. Just as a reminder right there, the Columbus Falcons batting first. 165 for 9 is what they ended up with. Bay Blazers taking victory by the margin of 7 wickets. A few highlights for you here. Most of these will be because of the man, 87 from 51, Sulaiman Arabzai. I think you saw some resistance operating in a couple of places, but when you see the amount of hitting that you have, and even though that catch was taken, Manang Patel there was very happy with the work done by his young pacer. But on balance, I think they just did not do enough to build any pressure. Too many loose deliveries, too many balls that were overpitched or too straight. That was a good big edge. Taken Esanadil with the wicket. But once again, you see the work done by Sulaiman Arabzai. Huge hits down the ground and peppering that area between long on and square leg. Did that with reckless aplomb. And then going toward the back end of the innings here. A couple of loose edges, a couple of fortuitous boundaries. But for the most part, he did what he needed to do. And then Akhtar Shah will think that he should have been less expensive than he was. Good catch taken there by Sharad Lumba, the captain. But in the darkness, that reverse sweep takes victory. That is the last shot of the day. Excellent stuff by the Bay Blazers to get a solid victory. Join us for more cricket here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex here in the Houston Open 2026. Bay Blazers taking victory by 7 wickets. We'll be on air tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. local time. See you then.